Good morning, people. Oh, it's a lot going on, right? A lot going on. Sending prayers out to the family of Insayne Wayne, who we lost this weekend. Do me a favor, take a moment, share the broadcast. Does anybody know how to browse on a smart TV? Oh, there. Take a moment, share the broadcast, share the broadcast. It'll be a good show today. Man. They should just have a Facebook app on the TV. Take a moment, share the broadcast. Let's exit. I think what I'm gonna do is just do YouTube for right now until they get. What's up, y'all? Take a moment to share the broadcast. Take a moment to share the broadcast. How y'all feeling this morning? All right, y'all, take a moment, share the broadcast, share the broadcast, share the broadcast, share the broadcast. I shall return. Um, share the broadcast, take a moment, share the broadcast. Crazy about this rain going crazy. I cannot believe it. So I sent you So let's have a little fun today.
Do you want to say his name or not?
Nope. We're gonna say
Colin.
we're gonna use COINTELPRO.
Thank you.
We'll use COINTELPRO, but then we'll tell them to tune in tonight.
I feel like being petty today.
What up, y'all? Take a moment, share the broadcast, share the broadcast, share the broadcast. Who is 8:30? Take a moment, share the broadcast. Okay. So y'all, we got National Barbecue Month. We got everything cracking. Y'all make sure y'all take a moment, share this broadcast. It's gonna be a good day. Did you get my COINTELPRO thing? You yeah. Go ahead. So the first one I sent you was like like you can actually use the beginning to set up the whole segment. Like, you know.
So I got the beginning where she describes it, and then I got the time marker where she said they were infiltrating agents.
Bingo. All right, y'all, take a moment, share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. You know what? I'm going to tell y'all. So, Hey, we got a guest for National Barbecue Month today. Yes, it's going to be Ray Burns Barbecue. So actually, I saw this on the National PR Wire, and I was like, we got to start doing like some. I want to get, I want to start getting some like national stuff or whatever. So I say, damn, we didn't get a guest. I thought we were going to get a guest. They were supposed to come Friday. I was watching Good Morning America this weekend, and the same people who was on Good Morning America are coming on here today. So that's why I just be like, and I just open up that email, and it's like, see, what you got for God, what's God got for you can't nobody take away. That's stated. You not finna get no more. Take a moment, share the broadcast. I was angry. And y'all know that I don't really hide my feelings, and the WVON family is really where I'm cathartic after I have had an opportunity to think. Hey, in there. I didn't even see you get in there. But what I've come to realize is I've become more and more of a threat to people. As I listen back to the audio,
for help with toxic reading.
of what happened this week. And I'm not going to say names today, but I will encourage everybody to tune in tonight because I am going to break it down. But, you know, as I was breaking down why, like, what was being said was said, is like, it really gets to the heart of my conversation with Tom Seraphin, and I've shared it with you on WVON, which becomes the challenge. I do have relationships now. I'm starting to develop them with everybody. And what is happening is people are starting to find out that there are legit black people that are in for the self-interest of their community. And so when they start to recognize that it's not always a hustle, then it becomes an issue for the hustlers because they become exposed. See, you know that part when I talk about the Republicans always go every year to some Democrat or to some black people, give them money, and then those, oh yeah, so much for your wish. It's going down today. But what I've come to recognize is that what I'm doing is dangerous to the ecosystem that people have created. On the Democratic side, the black Democrats, because I am questioning what they do. On the Republican side, people are concerned that I'm developing relationships that will expose the illegitimacy of what they've been doing for so long. So what I will say is that I lived and I learned this weekend. I have been a little salty all weekend, but I think as I wake up today, y'all know I have my moments of clarity. So as compared to waking up and expecting that it'll be, you know, hellfire and brimstone, we're gonna just use this weekend as a lesson. A lesson in my growth and development, not in that manner. For those of y'all that are listening. My resolve was tested this weekend and I almost lost it. My goal is to build, not to break. My goal is to move the black community forward. And it's a lesson in trying to put my ego in check compared to my desire to help my people. And I'm human. Shit. Like I'm human. Everybody just be like, forget it. Don't act like you couldn't be embarrassed. Like you couldn't. Hey man, I am a prideful dude. Excuse me. And maybe it was God's way of reminding me. But that stated, I'm not a victim and I won't be a victim. But it's all good. Where's Todd? Did he get scared? But it was a lesson in learning for Maze Jackson this weekend, and I am going to be better for it. Y'all gotta understand, I've been on a journey for a minute that I just don't think can be stopped by an individual. But I'm not everybody else though, and it's only so much. So anyway, but I am grateful for every opportunity. Let's get it.
You're listening to The Morning Show with Maze Jackson on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. Rise and shine.
You know what I realized today? For all of that, I'm gonna be on Fox all day commenting for the inauguration. What can you do, man? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Wake up! Oh, but I'm not letting it go. Y'all take a moment, share the broadcast. Let's get this thing cracking this morning. I just learned to be ready. World has changed so very much. Sometimes I gotta think though, y'all. It's like I gotta get my mind right. I gotta get it all together. I gotta process. Unfortunately, when you process like me, you process in the world. Now, I didn't take my 24-hour rule, I didn't use my 24-hour rule. But it's okay. Because let me tell you, we started to be, you going to the inauguration today? Okay, I was going to ask you, did you need a ticket?
Why, is your ticket better than my ticket? I just got your general Negro ticket.
You don't get the former dignitary ticket?
They have a former
Come on,
dignitary
man.
ticket?
Man, you better start claiming your space up here, man. Don't make me get on these people talking about you. Let's get it cracking, y'all. Na 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 na. The world won't get no better. They got that turn. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Man, gotta say what's up to my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, how you feeling this morning?
I had a senior moment. Good morning.
Yeah, the senior moment. I was like, uh-oh, he might have cut out on me. Did he get? Was the heat too much for him? What's
No,
going on, Todd?
I went all through the house looking for that car key. And then I had to call the troops. I had to wake my wife up. She says, it's on the dining room table. I was like, what? And then she got up, she moved the piece of paper. I was like, okay, I'm gone.
But can I tell you what? Isn't it crazy how in the morning, just one single piece of paper could change up the whole day? That is truly, you know what, if you ever want to know about the butterfly effect, the butterfly effect is in the morning when you have to be on a super tight schedule to get down to your morning show at 6 a.m. Well, look, if I have one hiccup, if my car keys aren't where they're supposed to be, if my wallet isn't where it's supposed to be, if I didn't stuff my bag right, 1 minute can change the whole ecosystem and I will be all the way off.
Yes.
And so that piece of paper, you know, and I could do my get ready to go in the dark, right? I'll make it to the bathroom. I only have a little, I can do it all.
Right, because part of this is trying not to wake your wife.
Exactly, because they like, I didn't nobody tell you take no job at no 5 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
I got things to do in the morning. Look, y'all, that is the life of the morning show host that we have to, but we do it. And Todd, you are here, so let's get it cracking. Gotta say what's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom. Annette, how you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling in a melancholy kind of way, a little reflective this morning. You know, of course, we've heard over the weekend the tragic news that we've lost our beloved Wayne Field.
You know what? Thank you, Annette. I am going to say I was heartbroken initially, but you know, I used to be here every day with Wayne I would get here at 5 o'clock. And at 5 o'clock is when he would go into his praise show. And it would be all the gospel hits and all the gospel. And both of us being kids in the choir, we would sing the songs. And we would be like, and I would be in here. And you know, for all of the craziness and all the mad. And Wayne would come in, boy, what you know about that? And I'll never forget when I found out that Wayne was an organist, a minister of music, that he did. It changed our dynamic. I'm going to say that the peace, I have a certain level of peace in knowing that Insayne Wayne passed away, although suddenly and taken from us. If there's anybody that we know is going to another place that he believes strongly in, is our own Insayne Wayne. So while I could be melancholy for myself, I'm going to say that we should celebrate the life of Insayne Wayne, knowing that he was always every day on a daily path towards his place, his make. I think he was one of those people that truly believe streets go, give me my road, like my mama, Insayne Wayne. So y'all,
Well, you know, it used to be Deacon Wayne.
Deacon Wayne.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I remember him. And I remember when I first met him, I was like, man, you've been at the station forever. Because when I thought of WVON, Wayne's voice was what would run through my mind.
You know what?
Wayne goes deep in this station. I mean, we go from the fictional character Trouble, that's Wayne's creation.
Ooh.
To the turkey races.
Oh,
good. Of course, you talked about Sensation, and you know, of course, everybody knows him from the B-side.
Man, you know what? I just renamed Wayne King of the Old School. And he was moving into, you know what? Hey y'all, we gonna have to send some Send some prayers out. You know what? The biggest two things. You remember just a couple weeks ago, Wayne ran out of here for his mom, whose house had been broken into. And I just remember the concern and him just being happy to know that she was on the way to recovery, but how she was going to recover. Let me just say, let's raise a family up in prayer today, y'all. Let's raise up the family of Insayne Wayne Fields, Pastor Cy Fields, and everybody else in their family, the Williams, Graysons, all of those, and let's show them some love. All right? Let's take a moment of silence because I've been talking. Rest in peace, Insayne Wayne. You know what? But before we close the show out, I want to make sure we do a tribute to Wayne. So when we close, let's do our tribute to Wayne. All right. Got to say what's up to Miss Sonia Escobar, who is the musical conductor of the Soul Plane. Sonia, how you feeling today? Okay.
You know what? You taught me so much. And every morning for the last 5 years, he's saying, hey girl, we had a lot of plans, and I told him write a book. Every day was a story with him. Every day he had a story, right? Just like Aretha, she needed her money in cash, baby. And
he sure did.
But he Christianed you, Sonia. Remember the what was that? The contest that they had.
The DJ battle.
Contest, the DJ battle.
Man.
And the whole time he was just mentoring me.
Yes.
He was like, all right, now I'm going to do this, now you going to do that. He was just a light in the morning. And he saw me rough. You know, no makeup, no hair, with an attitude. Excuse me, my coffee. And all right, baby. You know, it's rough.
You know what? You know what I would be like? And I'm going to tell you, because, you know, Wayne would be the one that, you know, he was up. And I was just getting up. And he'd come in here and be like, I'd be putting my stuff together. You know how I am, right, in the morning. You know I don't talk. Like, for all the talking I do, I'd be like, I don't say one word to me until it's done. Like, he'll come in and say, and I'd be getting my stuff together and be like, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. And I'd be like, but Maze, I didn't do it. And he'd be like, hey, man, let me sit down and talk to you for a minute. I'm like, Wayne, I'm trying to get ready. I know, but I didn't do it. And then it'd be, you know what?
He would watch me from my car to get into the station on 87th Street. Call me when you're there.
You call me when you're
broke,
there. Man, you know what? Wayne had the, you know what? And he had the voice. Hello. The voice. Hey y'all, let's y'all make sure we gonna send Insayne Wayne up with prayers, love, and to his family. All right, y'all. It is Inauguration Day. When we come back, we are going to run through some of the headlines. We'll talk about everything that happened over the weekend. Plus, I'll give you an update on my state representative race and how it turned out. We'll talk about it all when we come back after traffic and the weather.
More of the morning show with Maze Jackson coming up.
Woo! Dang, you know what? That's what happens when I did not look at my headlines. I had all, look at the top, right here at the top. First thing. Y'all see I write this up every day? Ooh, I need to send it. Oh, and there is no, you know Sonia's not going to be here. So you all tune in today to Fox 32. I will be providing in-studio coverage of the inauguration. 9:30 to noon, 9:30 to noon, 9:30 to noon. Y'all take a moment and share the broadcast. Yeah, I know you want me to cancel the live, but I don't think I'm going to cancel the live. I think it's an opportunity to teach and learn. Take a moment, share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. Yep. Share the broadcast, share the broadcast, share the broadcast.
I need you to wake up. Wake up. Check this out. I know you, and you damn sure know me. See, nobody can bring me anything negative about you and I'm gonna believe it. They got to bring me some hardcore proof for me to believe anything negative about you. You know why? Because I love you and I want you to win in this world. See, I already know that when you win, I win. Because when I win, you damn sure win. We all gonna win up in here.
Dang, people been sending me all type of stuff this weekend.
And be the best you can be. Nobody can beat you better than you.
What is this,
I'm proud of you. I want the world to be proud of you. Send this to 5 or 10 people who you know wants you to win. Because there's power in numbers. There's power in energy. The folks that want you to win, they're gonna send it back to you. And other folks, they want to win as well. So if we all winning, that means we can't lose. That's a lot of firepower right there. So go ahead on and send this to those folks so we can get this firepower going.
Dang, man. Y'all been killing me this weekend. I'm gonna tell y'all been working me over this weekend. I done had offers to people to do everything from pray to shoot. And I've been like, dang.
That's the gambit.
I'll be right back. Todd, you got the camera. Y'all, Todd got his church clothes on. See, I gotta be careful. Every time I wear my church clothes, somebody wanna test me.
Yeah. Well, unlike Maze, I don't live 7 minutes away, so ain't no way I'm going back home. Take me an hour, go home, change, and come back. Just the driving takes an hour. Changing clothes, that throw another 15 minutes in there. So I'm just heading on over. See what this new group of people look like.
It was when you were again. Yeah. The love we had stays on my mind. The love we had stays on my mind. We got one more, y'all. Chuck, Wayne. We had stays on my mind. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. I got my co-host, Ty Stroger.
That song always makes me melancholy anyway.
You know what? That song also, we're going to dedicate this whole show to the life and legacy of Insayne, Wayne Fields. He, colleague, you know what I'm saying, always encouraging. He used to be like, look, man, you got something going on here, man. You got to do a better job with these promos. It's like, you everything is not a joke. Everything is not funny. And you are delivering a serious message. So some days you're going to have to stop all that laughing. But Wayne, stop it. I'll be like, all right, Wayne.
Well, I used to see Wayne, I did Tuesday, 9 to 12. I'd see Wayne coming in, and I'd see Wayne leaving when I'd come in, and he always had a good word for me.
you know what, Wayne always had a good word for me. And, you know, over time you get to just, you know what, it's like you just take the, you know what, I think it'll be tomorrow for me. Because the Sundays, Wayne didn't, you know, I usually didn't do, Wayne came in tomorrow. And it would be the day, if I accidentally called him on a Sunday, he'd be like, I'm not working, sir. All right, y'all, let me run through some of these headlines. First of all, today is Inauguration Day. Today is the changing of the guard.
Chicago holiday.
It is a Chicago holiday. I think the Chicago holiday was at 5 o'clock on Friday. We should name that a holiday.
You mean, is that
That's the time when he walked out. And you know, I was watching the mayor exit the building, and there was all those people cheering and clapping. Mr. Blakemore, I'm just telling you, I saw you hug Ron too. I saw you on the news, waiting, giving him a big old smooch. But I think I didn't know if the people were there waving for him to leave, clapping like he, or it was like, we're so sad. City Council shake up. Oh my God. I saw a lot of the City Council members at my 10th District State Representative tryout. And boy, it was some shakeups. Happened to be there was the new chairman of the Finance Committee, Alderman Scott Wagasback, as well as
Is he part of the district?
Yeah, he was part of the district. He is actually third highest vote total getter, as well as Alderman Gilbert Villegas, chairman of the Latino Caucus. Probably won't be that, but is now the head of. He's the floor leader,
Right.
And he also got, I forgot what other committee he got.
Something about economic stuff.
Yeah, economic development, which is good. That means he's gonna be gonna be asking where's the money for the Latinos. We're gonna break that down a little bit later. Jesse Sharkey was elected president of the Chicago Teachers Union, reelected. Or no, he wasn't reelected. He was elected. This is his first election. And as soon as he got elected, he sent Mayor-elect Lightfoot a message, gave her a warning. It seems like everybody's trying to get in place so that they can assume the positions. And I'm wondering, is this about to be Groundhog Day? Like, are we about to have another teacher strike and a war? Look,
We might.
Lori, Mayor-elect, soon to be Mayor Lightfoot, please, whatever you do when you go meet with Jesse Sharkey, don't curse him out.
Curse him out.
Okay? So we don't have to have a teacher strike on a personal vendetta. Shout out to Oak Park River Forest for the racist yearbook. Seems like Oak Park River Forest is starting to be like, is pulling the wool off of the myth of these liberal.
Oh, how welcoming Oak Park.
Yeah, how welcoming, because everybody wants to go to Oak Park until you find out they don't like black people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Then it helps me understand their state. Let me stop.
But I will say, we did, I remember I was a junior, and we were walking across to the Commons, and there was all this debris floating in the air
Mhm.
from a burning.
Mhm.
They were burning our yearbooks. There was something in the yearbook that I could never find what it was, but it probably was something kind of racist, because they burned those books as soon as they saw them.
Well, apparently over at Oak Park River Forest, the young people, they had to withdraw the yearbooks. They could not hand them out because apparently there were white racial issues. I bet if you go through all these yearbooks right now, you can find them. You know what,
Somebody's doing it, huh?
in the U of I yearbook, the Ku Klux Klan was in it. Like, they had a whole student organization section. Like, I bet if you go back to the history of all of our institutions that go back into the 1800s.
You're not talking about while you were there.
No, not while I was there.
Okay.
But as we started to become more conscious, then we started to examine the history of the organization.
Yeah.
And as we went back to the old yearbooks, you would see like Klansmen in full regalia in the yearbook as the Ku Klux Klan, like the fraternities.
Yeah.
Ku Klux Klan was like a fraternity.
I can believe it, because in the 1920s, the Klan was at its peak.
Yes.
All over.
And Indiana was actually had the most registered Klaverns in the country. This is why I was telling you on my way.
Like 280,000.
Yep, that's why I went on my way to Indianapolis. I don't stop between Gary and, you know what I'm saying. You can stop at Purdue, but then you gotta keep on making. You get past Rensselaer, just keep driving, bro. Just keep driving. When you see Whitestown, they mean that. When you see Brownsburg and Zionville, they mean those.
Well, you could probably, as long as you're out there before sundown, you'll probably be all right.
Same with Libertyville. All right, let me stop. Did you see first case of measles found in Illinois? The Game of Thrones finale last night. PolitiFact calls Pritzker's fair tax half true. Now, if I ever told my mother a half true, she called that a lie.
A full lie?
Right. It wasn't no half. A half truth is a full lie. And then let me just say, big, humongous, huge, big shout out to Robert F. Smith. If you do not know who he is the commencement speaker. The commencement speaker at Morehouse College.
I'm still trying to figure out who he really is.
And
like, how does this man have so much money?
I think he's the black guy that was on the cover. He's a billionaire. I think he's the guy that was on the cover. He was on the cover of Forbes, and he's a black billionaire, and everybody was. I think he was a. I'm not going to even say what I think he is. He might have been one of y'all guys. He might have been an alpha, I think, if this is what. But basically, he
probably is an alpha.
He probably stole it. let me stop. Shout out to everybody.
He's the greatest thief you ever saw.
But apparently, Todd, he said everybody in the commencement speech that he was going to pay off their student loans. $40 million. Now, I'm going to tell you what, though. He is going to be a black legend. And watch this. I bet you it's a whole bunch of other people that started. I saw somebody told Dr. Dre the next time he show up at UCLA, he better be paying for the black students since he got us all with the weed. Let's look. We're going to, Sonya, do you have that? You can take us out with that. Take us out with the audio when he announces that he is going to give those young people to pay off their student loans.
Men of Morehouse, you are surrounded by a community of people who have helped you arrive at this sacred place and on this sacred day. On behalf of the 8 generations of my family who have been in this country, we're going to put a little fuel in your bus. Now, I've got the alumni over there, and this is the challenge to you, alumni. This is my class, 2019. And my family is making a grant to eliminate their student loans.
Black excellence, baby.
Live.
But just so we are clear, for all the I hate the black Greek, blah 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 blah, he is an alpha. But for all of y'all that be talking about the black Greeks and how they tell me what I'ma stop. Should they give it back too? Was that Illuminati money? Go ahead, Todd.
Yeah, the Illuminati. Man, I know about them nowadays, actually. But yes, great job for my fraternity brother. But I think the real important part of that is, as he was trying to tell the alumni, is you need to raise money. This is important. I think all of us need to realize that. At Xavier, I don't know if Madam President has been getting I'm sure she has, because I've been getting a ton of things on Facebook talking about Xavier and
their football team.
There. We don't have a football team. We had a football team once, though, way back when my dad was there. He tried out for the football team. And he said after he got knocked down a few times, he was like, this ain't for me, this is for big people.
Your dad was a big dude.
No, he was a skinny guy who ate a lot and became a big dude. You know, when you start out in college and you're poor, you're a skinny person. Then as time goes on, you get some money, you realize, I can eat now. And then you gain weight. But with that, your school is only going to be as good as the people who stick behind it and raise money for it. Just like I bet that in the Sigmas, somewhere in the history, one of the presidents said something about we need to infuse some money in our organization.
Yes, they say that every month.
Every month.
Every daggone month they say more money, more money, more money.
We had that. Our second president wrote a letter talking about how important it was that we financially support the fraternity. Same thing happens with your universities. Your university will not grow, will not be able to do the things that it needs to do to help the students unless people send money back. I send money back to my wife's schools. I'm like, they helped make her who she is, so you know, whenever I got something, I try to send it back. And that's exactly, I think, what he was trying to get over in the commencement speech. Without support, these students have a hard time moving on and doing things. And we need to support them in every way we can. Like I'm sure Mays sends money to Xavier. And after he's rich and famous, I mean, he's already probably semi-rich.
These people done tried to take me out the game, man. And it's like, then you got fools. It's all right.
Yeah. So, we have a scholarship at Xavier under my dad's name. And if you want to send some money to it, you can. John H. Stroger Scholarship. Because we'd like it to live forever.
Didn't y'all endow it forever?
Well, we put the money we could in.
How much?
But we need more. I always need more. We should probably throw a dinner or something. A foundation dinner. To throw some money back into it.
You should have.
His birthday was yesterday.
Who, your dad?
Yeah.
Oh, did y'all celebrate? Did you go to the...
No, we didn't. Probably should have. I never was one for going to cemeteries, but probably good for the kids. I did a Facebook post.
I didn't see it. I
did it late at night. They got like 200 responses in like an hour.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think you got a whole legacy out there that it's a whole group of John Stroger people. You should take that stuff back from DuSable that they didn't put up, that those people got back, and you should send it to Xavier. And you should have Xavier put a display up. They probably would appreciate it more than DuSable and be like, yo, always be a part of me. I'm telling you. And then he's like one of their most famous. Don't you know your kid? Put it in the John H. Stroger School of Politics or Political Science. At least put it in the hallway. Make a great display. You could take all those great pictures. Make a donation and put yourself down at Xavier, my baby. And I bet you could get people to even raise money
For that.
For that, and to do a display. You could probably get people to raise money. I bet you get a lot of white people on the north side that would donate to it, because they raise that money to get that stuff out of. I mean, I'm telling you, stay.
You're right.
But up to leave. But your dad did a lot for people, and you could frame it with Xavier being a medical school. I mean, the place where kids go. You could frame it as John H. Stroger, who provided health care to the millions of blacks that came up from the Great Migration like himself by learning there, graduated from there. See how I do that? No, you can't.
I keep on telling you, you're smart. You're famous already.
You'll always be my baby. You are tuned into the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Mays Jackson. Gotta say what's up to the WVON morning show crew. Todd Stroger. Hey, Todd, happy birthday, happy belated birthday to your father, John Stroger, who did so much for the black community. Todd, I'm telling you, I know I really think, man, I was just saying, your dad did so much, and his legacy, I know y'all brag about XU, but I think you should really think about making a donation to Xavier, because because they are like the number one place where black people go to medical school from. If you go to Xavier, you probably can get into medical school.
Right.
And think about what your dad did for healthcare here, and all the people in the Great Migration.
Yeah, and he was the chairman of the Board of Trustees twice. They usually won't let you do that, but he and Dr. Francis were so close. He was like, come on back, John.
See how they do that, man. See how they do that.
Alpha man.
You know, let me stop. I'm going to let that moment ride.
I'm certain there's a Sigma school like that.
Man, there's plenty of Sigma schools like that. You know, we do our thing.
Bring that back next week, please.
All right. Todd, man, I had a really interesting experience this weekend. Or this week. You know, I went out for the 10th District State Rep.
Yes.
And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But one of the things that happened during that event was somebody was in the, I got a heckler. I had a heckler.
Ooh, I can't stand hecklers.
I had a heckler.
I want to go in the crowd.
And that's exactly.
I'm a nonviolent person, but I don't like people who think they got the right just to harass you because they feel like you can't get them back.
Exactly. So, but one of the things, and we'll talk about that because I think that's more like of sometimes it's hecklers that just don't like your policies, and then I think there's hecklers that are there to just mess stuff up just to make sure nothing connects. But
right.
One of the things that I often hear or that is thrown around in our community is sellout. And I was called a sellout this weekend. We'll talk about that because I think that's more like I was called a sellout.
Like so much wanted to hear something?
I wanted to hear it twice. But I was called a sellout. Now, let me be clear. I am 100% clear. I am 100% secure in my place in the community. And, you know, I think I've been an open book.
Yeah.
I think that we all go through an evolution process. And this evolution process that we go through gets us to where we arrive at eventually. But being called a sellout, it really made me say, you know, I've thrown that word around a little bit. I think it's a common term. But I want to know, really, what does it mean? So I want to know what makes a black sellout. And can a person really an individual sell out the black community? And what actually makes a sellout? Now, I do believe that there are opportunities to sell. I think we have conflated selling out and getting and doing a job and working and having a job. Like, I think if you were to go by, people say that you are a sellout if you work for a company or organization. Right? So if you're a lobbyist, does that automatically make you a sellout? If you are an elected official, we call our elected officials sellouts. What makes a person a sellout? Now here's me. I thought about it and I came up with my definition. My definition of a sellout, to me, is someone who uses their black influence to mislead black people for personal gain.
Like a Judas. Go.
A person who preys upon the pain and suffering of black people for their own benefit, that leverages our pain and suffering for their own benefit. But I want to know what makes a black sellout? Give us a call, 312-374-8130. You know, I guess I questioned it personally because, Todd, I got called a sellout. Now, knowing that I fight every day on literally, and I have paid a physical, literal, mental price for it all, legitimately wanting black people to do better. And in every position that I've ever had, regardless of who I've worked with, for, whatever, I've always tried. You can always see a trail of black people behind me, right? Like if I was at IDOT, you can see all the people that worked with me at IDOT. When I was at Sprite, before I even knew anything about politics, I knew to hire black people to do the work, right? Whatever ones I could find. But I want to know, like, how does one become a black sellout? And
sometimes people look at you and they say you are successful, and as you were stating earlier, you are successful and you are working in the greater world. Therefore, you are a sellout.
And
it's a real simple equation.
So, but how do we advance?
My dad got that same thing. You hear Harold Lucas, you know, handkerchief head and all that kind of stuff. That when you're working with the majority, and the majority is part of the process, you can be deemed a sellout just because you are working with the majority.
So, WVON fam, give us a call, 312-374-8130. You know, I think that sellout is often a word cast by burnouts, people who have really nothing to show for their output in the community. And so oftentimes the way they deflect is to call someone a sellout. Because, you know, once you call somebody a sellout in the black community, they be like, well, I'll never forget. I will never forget. Ken Duncan's race, I got to go back to this. I came outside and I saw white people standing outside on the street calling black people, with white people with pink t-shirts on talking about Ken Duncan as a sellout.
Right.
Now, and Negroes was like, yes, he's a sellout. It's like a white boy sat up in a room and said, okay, this is how you do it. Find somebody to call him a sellout. Negroes will jump off the cliff and they'll be like, yeah, they don't even got to have no facts. You sold it. You got paid. No, Negro. I mean, how? See, this is the problem with Wakanda Land. This is where we shoot ourselves in the foot, because we don't understand that there has to be someone that gets to the actual table. If you keep blowing up everyone who is getting to the table, if a person is staying connected, if he is informing you, how do you become a sellout? Now this is not Maze, because I was just thinking about it. And when people say, oh, they sold us out, like, I've heard people call people like Jesse Jackson a sellout. So for all of his accomplishments in the world, now I make you.
Well, you know, according to the definition that you gave, I hear white people, you know, I go up and down and down. I hear white people call Jesse Jackson a sellout all the time from your definition, that he profits from the backs of poor black people.
But how does he profit? Is he wealthy? You know what I'm saying? Like, when people say you profit, and I mean, it's like legitimately. Like,
people don't want you to get paid for anything. I mean, that's what it boils down to.
See that? But I told y'all, I'm never taking a vow of poverty, ever. Yeah, and the problem is, we want everybody to take a vow of poverty. And so then when it's time to get something done, we can't do nothing. Because everybody poor, broke. And look, how do you sell out? And is there a way to be successful and not sell out? Because I bet you within the WVON listening audience, I bet you within the conspiracy theory audience of the people that say, oh, those black Greek, blah, 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 they would have your guy, Robert, what's his name?
Ron?
No, Robert F. Smith, who gave away. Yeah. He's a member of a black Greek fraternity. He went to a college. According to the actor of this community, those would be primary reasons to be a sellout. And so even though he went on, made millions of dollars, came back and paid $40 million, right up until that point, I bet you the same people would be calling him a sellout. So help me understand, how does one become, what makes a black sellout? Give me a call, 312-374-8130. We'll talk about it when we come back.
Yeah, I see that on Facebook. Guys will just be like, the black Greeks.
Right.
Like
you know what though? What it is it's a bunch of mugs who read a bunch of conspiracy theory books when they was locked up and needed an excuse to blame somebody else for their misfortune. So now, when you need to create a conspiracy to be able to say, ooh, this is why, this is who are the people that say that, though? Like, if you know anything about Black Greek letter organizations, anything, you would know that our organizations are based on service. Yeah, you read the stories about all the other stuff that we do. But like when you go back and you look at history, most of our leaders, most of everybody Black that has accomplished something significant for our community started off with a base. And that base, somewhere, or learned how to organize somewhere, usually back in a Black Greek letter organization.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I would say our elected officials, but you know how they feel about it.
Right, but I mean, they don't like nobody.
Yeah.
So the second you fight for, so I could be whistling for the Black people every day, all day. Every day, all day. I could have lost money. I could have told you every story about every. I did lobby. I thought that even when I was lobbying, I put more Black people on. I have a legacy of Black fucking lobbyists. Jackass.
But yeah, I mean, really, if you look at the like the historic first district, congressional first district, all those congressmen were Black Greeks. Bobby Rush Greek?
No.
Except for Bobby Rush.
He was a Panther.
Oh, maybe Charlie Hayes. I'm not sure about Charlie Hayes. But up to that point, it's when times were tough. All those guys, what was his name? Smith was a Sigma, and then you had like 4 Alphas. I mean, Tony Crackwinkle's an AKA.
Bobby Rush is an iota.
He sure is. That's right. He is too.
Figures. That's right. The founder of the Panthers was a Sigma. Actually, Bobby Seale and Huey P. Newton were Sigmas.
Yeah, that's right.
What up, Lunye? What up, Kristen Dumasani? What up, Brian Mullins? What about Jonathan Boston? Bobby Rush. So if you work at
Brian Mullins is
iota.
Iota, yeah.
Figures. The iotas always wove in between. Like the iotas was like the they look like Black and Puerto Rican mixed. Bobby Rush messes it up, but the iotas look like a Black Puerto Rican.
Billy Ocasio.
Huh?
Billy Ocasio.
Right. Maybe I ain't crazy. Right. Billy Ocasio is.
Not crazy. And there's some other person I can't remember.
Same for years. It's made me an animal. It's rules to this shit. So I wrote me a manual, step-by-step booklet for you to get your game on track. Not your wig pushed back. Rule number uno, never let no one know how much dough you hold. Jealousy, seeing best pushed up. Don't you know bad boys move in silence and violence take it from your highness? Triggers. Trust nobody. Set that ass up, properly gassed up. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Taj Children. Todd, I want to know what makes a Black sellout. I'm going to the phone lines. Give us a call, 312-374-8130. Let's go to Shauna. Shauna, you want to talk of Chicago. What makes a Black sellout?
Good morning, you guys.
Good morning.
First and foremost, I don't think we as people know the proper terms of a sellout. So this is the same lies that we used to say to ourselves and call people Uncle Tom, or Uncle Tom who was reading and understanding what was going on, and people got upset about that. I think the issue is that we need to name it properly, which is a sample. So if you remember, I don't know if you remember or not, last week or so, I called the alderman the sample. Because what they're doing is, what they're doing are taking profits and acting like they Black folks, and they don't want to have anything to do with us. So I don't think it's a sellout. mean something different. That they don't understand the context of what they're saying. Just because I got a job in the white world don't make me a sellout. But if I take my job and I use it against my own people, that makes me a Sambo, and that's a big difference.
All right. Ooh, look, Shauna, defining Sambo and sellout. Thank you very much. That's why I love WVON family. Give us a call, 312-374-8130. Let's go to Maurice. Maurice, Shauna Talk Chicago, 1690.
Good morning, black man. Hey, Todd.
Good morning.
What's up, brother?
The cost of living is up. Look, Maze, I agree with Wayne. You need to tone down the playing so much, man. This is serious business. Number 2, sellout. The best sellout in history was Judas, who took his 30 pieces of silver from the Romans. In the South African struggle, they called them collaborators. Sister Winnie came up with an ideal situation because they were the biggest impediment to black progress. We need to eliminate this impediment because we need to be free. Thank you, gentlemen. Keep the faith and the money in the family.
Thanks,
All
Maurice.
right, thank you.
Let's go to Mama D. Mama D on the Talk Chicago. You got to do it in less than 60 seconds.
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning. Did you know that today, May 20th, 2019, Lori Lightfoot, a little black girl, now age 56, born in a small segregated steel town called Madison, Ohio, from humble beginnings, will make history after winning every award, and with 76% of the vote on April 2nd, 2019, will be sworn in at 10 a.m. at the Winthrop Arena as the first female indigenous Native Black American mayor of the city of Chicago, Illinois. A University of Chicago law school graduate, this powerful attorney will also make history as the first lesbian married to a woman to become mayor of a major city. And it is making international news. Not since the election of Harold Washington has there been such excitement. And he took office on April 28, 1983. Those golden tickets, like myself, are being counted among the blessed. But she is not the first female mayor. That honor belongs to Jane Byrne, elected April 16, 1979. Lightfoot's sexual orientation is an issue to some on religious grounds, but it did not stop South Bend, Indiana, Pete Mayor, who is Pete Buttigieg, who is married to a man, from being number 5 in the presidential lineup of 20-plus Normandy. His plan for reparations was intentional advantage to match the intentional disadvantage of Native Black Americans, called by the United Nations as the greatest Holocaust in the history of humankind, is gaining traction, and he has opened an office in Chicago. I'm Mama D, a Crimes Against Humanity descendant, Jim Crow genocide survivor, and indigenous Native Black American. If you didn't know the history of May 20th, 2019, now you do.
Thank you, Mama D. Mama D, you're going to have to keep that under a minute. You're going to have to keep it under a minute, though. I appreciate it. Let's go to James. You're on the Talk Chicago, 1690.
Good morning, Maze. I just got a question for all the black Greeks. What's the difference between a black Greek and a white Greek besides their color?
I think their level of service, the members, what we do, what our organizations. And let's just be clear. Like, if you probably know the difference, and I think, first of all, let's be clear. Let's be clear. I think that the words Black Greeks, and I think everybody will get caught up on it. They were Black Greek letter organizations that were created because at white universities and at universities at a time when we could not, what you thought we could just become the Black Panthers back in the, but I would say this, that our organizations have worked to further the education of black people and served as the anchors for and the base of operations for black people who were their first generations and then on going to college. Let's go to Karen, you got the last one.
Hey, good morning, Kings. How you doing?
I'm fine.
Now, Maze, you know this question is why me and you end up becoming friends. But my definition of a sellout is when the Creator puts you in a position where you know something that your people don't know. And instead of sharing that, we began to take the money. I was in that position myself where I was one of the largest transportation companies. And I was told to stop doing what I was doing to keep making the money I was making. And I decided to not take the money because I need to make my people aware of what was happening to come. And that's Uber taking over the state of Illinois. Hey, I love you. Have a great day.
Hey, thank you, Sister Karen. Look, y'all, it's Talk Chicago 1690. When we come back, it's the Washington, D.C. update with our girl, Amisha Cross. And then we'll discuss COINTELPRO at 7:30. It's the Talk Chicago. We'll be back.
The Talk of Chicago.
So, man, yesterday, so did you see it? Did you see the video at all of my interview?
Oh, no. You put it on
No, actually, a gentleman, so we're not going to name names, but tonight at 7:30, we certainly will. So definitely, at 7 o'clock, you do not want to miss that Facebook Live. But basically, one heckler of, you know who it is, right?
Oh, yeah, I know who it is.
You know who it is? You don't even have to. So he came to the presentation, yelled and hollered and screamed and MF'd me and everything throughout my presentation. Now,
did they ask him to leave?
Say that again. Hold on. Go ahead. Say that again.
When they asked him to leave, there was, in any body, there is some decorum that has to be, it may be open to the public, but that doesn't mean that you can disrupt the proceedings.
So nobody said anything, right? I literally stopped and said, y'all don't have a sergeant at arms? So let me tell you.
That sounds more like a 911 call, to be honest with you. I don't like to see anybody taken out, but hey, you can't just come and disrupt things just because you don't like what's going on. I've seen them do that in other places. It's not your job to come in and try to stop people from talking among themselves.
So imagine then, as I'm sitting there trying to make my presentation, and someone is like, F you, fuck him, he from Bolingbrook. No, completely, I can't even hear the questions because of the yelling, right? So I say to myself, y'all not gonna stop, y'all not gonna stop this? So at that point, I said, okay, I'm not gonna even try to do my presentation. And then as I'm trying to answer the questions, he's yelling all through the whole question, through all the questions. And I'm talking about literally getting up, walking in front of the committeeman. I'm sitting at a desk at a disadvantage, and he's walking in. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I lost it. Not lost it lost it I had Mama T over here snapping up hey man, yeah. And it's so you're trying to answer the questions and and so she's over here and that's I can't really snap on her because she's trying to be supportive, but she's really throwing me off. Because it's you say something and she starts snapping, but and then on this side I got dude. So literally in both ears, and I'm trying to look at the elected officials and answer the question. I'm gonna tell you, I got flustered. I did. Not because of anything except for I had no thought that I was gonna win that. I was clear I wasn't gonna win it, but I did feel like I wanted an opportunity to just present my credentials fairly.
I did the same thing when for the 4th district race. I knew I wasn't gonna get it, but I still felt that I needed to present myself.
And so, to present myself as an option. I feel like the whole thing was very COINTELPRO because, everybody said, how does that happen in a meeting? How do you, so here's what I would say. I would say that what it demonstrated to me was that the Democratic Party could be taken over like that. That anybody that wants to be loud and push people outside of their comfort zone could come in and disrupt any process that they want to, right? Because the key to that whole thing, to my estimation, like I'm not tripping, but the whole key to, and I've orchestrated both. Like I've orchestrated disruption, but I've also kind of orchestrated a swearing in sort of, and the key is to create some sense of legitimacy to it, right? Like, so you let everybody present, you let everybody feel like they had a fair chance to present their credentials, and this is the outcome.
Right.
When you don't allow that to happen, then it's illegitimate. But I think it's, again, another example of how the party is so sloppy and people are so, don't even get like, why would you, if you know that I'm going to report back on that, why would you let me come and say that the process was illegitimate? Right? You got to say, man, we gave everybody, sorry, dog, your papers wasn't good enough. Dude, you didn't see what dude said, so you don't know. But to allow the disruption to happen, like if I was disgruntled, like people who saw it were like, how does this happen in a meeting? But this is the same person that it happened when we was putting people, every time there's been a movement of black people going in a direction, this dude is in the way. I use the example that people got upset with me of Carla Oglesby. Okay? The thing that people don't understand, so I just reposted the article, but the thing that people didn't understand was that, and there are people, legitimate business people, who have come to me and said, thank you, Maze, for telling me to stay away. So dude was literally going around telling everybody that he got this girl and you can get your contract for $24,999 as long as it stays under this threshold. Like at the end of your tenure, you had old girl and he took advantage of her and started going around, but he was literally marketing that to people. And I was like, hey bro, check this out. There's one very, very prominent person who was like, man, dude just told me I could get $24,000 real quick, whatever. And I was like, don't do it. I was like, let me tell you what it is. It's going to be $24,999 just so they don't have to approve it. And then when they don't approve it, then they can sign off on it without it ever having to go in front of the board. But the feds are going to be looking at that shit. They're going to look at it because they're trying to find anything. I can name 5 people, 5 legitimate business people right now who I told don't do it. This dude was going to everybody. How did Carla go to jail? You all in the paper and you don't get nothing? It's all in your name. When it was Black Friday and the people were coming together, who blew up the Black Friday? Right? It's like every individual, he has blown up every group of anything that has happened with anything progressive, whatever. The person who told me man, we'll talk about it more. We'll save it for 7:30. Admit it. I'm taking the best I ever had. Yeah, that's right. He doing it, but this one going from right now because he eating us from the inside on the ground. Yeah, there are paid provocateurs, but when you know who they are, why do you allow them to exist to keep provocatory? Right now, in the heat of the moment. Baby, I lost my head, I lost my mind, I didn't know what to do. In the heat of the moment. Don't make excuses for that motherfucker around me. I'm telling y'all. Real talk. Get sprayed with him. You are tuned into the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, in the building. But y'all know how we do at the top of the hour. Got to say what's up to the WVON Morning Show team. What's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom? What's up to Sonia Escobar? Sonia, you know what? We never took the plane off. So get the plane off, hit hyperspeed, and then take a left and let's get to Washington, D.C. Sonia Tompkins is not with us today because she is down at Wintrust Arena setting up for the Perry Small the Perry Small live broadcast from the inauguration. Also want to remind you all, do not miss it if you are by a TV. Today from 9:30 until noon, I will be covering the inauguration in studio on Fox 32. In studio on Fox 32. You know what? That's why what God got for you can't nobody take away. You know I understand it. But look, you know what we do. Sonia hit us to hyperspeed, so now we are on our way to Washington, D.C., where we will talk to our D.C. correspondent, Amisha Cross. Amisha, how you feeling today?
Pretty good. Happy Inauguration Day.
Happy Inauguration Day. So things are switching up, changing around here today. I'm trying to see if this is Happy Inauguration Day. Is it a new beginning or is it Groundhog Day Part 2? We're going to figure that out. But what I want to do is talk to you about what's going on in Washington, D.C. Let's start here. Let's start with the fact that Joe Biden enters the race and starts mollywopping people. He almost got a double-digit lead on Bernie Sanders, and everybody else has now fallen under 10%. Amisha, is this Joe Biden's race to lose?
People don't attribute things to name recognition as much as they should. Joe Biden had no reason to enter this race early. He knew coming in that he was going to topple all of his contenders. And I think that makes a difference. Even in a head-to-head matchup with Donald Trump right now, he is steamrolling ahead of him as well. So I think that people really need to pay attention to the fact that he is really taking a commanding lead. Again, it's still very early, and he has a lot of things that he has to overcome in terms of, votes that he's cast in the past and things that, don't necessarily look as good in 2019 as they might have in 1982. But I do think that there is a lot to be said about this race, and particularly his candidacy.
Well, I think that Joe Biden has taken a strategy of not even, I think he's running against Donald Trump already. He does not seem to be worried about the contenders, and the contenders seem to be coming up. The contenders seem to be changing up the game, trying to catch up to Joe Biden. I see like everybody's backbiting. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't say it like that. What do you think? Has Joe Biden and his bluntness changed how people are operating?
I think it has, because Joe Biden came out of the gate not very apologetic. I think there has to be an understanding that Joe is who Joe is. And looking back on some of the votes that he cast, during the time frame that he cast them, a lot of people were on board, including members of the Black Caucus. I think that he can showcase an evolution in thought as he's continued throughout his career. But holding him to the fire over something that literally the majority of the CBC supported as well is somewhat problematic. And you are 100% correct. Joe Biden is not running against the other Democratic contenders. He is running directly against Donald Trump. He is acting like nobody else is there.
Man.
Get him, Uncle Joe.
So let me ask a question, because it seems like Bernie Sanders is now trying to claw away at Joe Biden. Do you think Bernie Sanders is getting ready to get left in the dust?
I absolutely think Bernie is about to get the taste of his own medicine on this one. It's interesting because he assumed that the audience that followed him in 2016 would be back for him in 2020. And I think that was one of his biggest fallacies. Right now, he is down in every demographic group he held in 2016. Millennials, your Generation X, like all of his vote share has been toppled. Part of that, to be honest, is because he created a group that kind of took away without him, the AOCs. At the end of the day, we have more people in Congress now who are a little bit more, far left than we did when Bernie Sanders was running in 2016. And they've kind of carried that mantle. They don't necessarily need him.
Yeah, my son is 19, and this will be his first election to vote for president. And he believes in democratic socialism, but he's not sure that Bernie is the guy to take the message.
So Bernie created a monster. You know what? This is an example of creating a monster that you can't control. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, too. Amisha, but you know what? Something else odd happened. Mayor Pete Buttigieg, Mayor whatever his name is, you can get me correct. He went on Fox, and it seems like, as Salim is saying, he jammed on Fox. Talk to me about that.
Mayor Buttigieg. So Mayor Pete went on Fox News. A lot of people, particularly some of the other candidates on the left, weren't necessarily excited that he got the invite or accepted. But he went on and he did something that most would not do. He challenged Fox.
particularly two of their anchors who have been known to say things that weren't necessarily PC. In addition to that, he went after, again, the religious right. And I think that it's extremely important to acknowledge it because as someone who is a young millennial who also happens to be gay and fought for this country, I think that he continues to reiterate that story.
Well,
and he answers the questions he got about race, because one of the things that keeps hitting his campaign is that he does not have enough black support. And I think that there's an understanding of that by himself. And he's also reaching out to get more high-level African-American consultants on his team, as well as advisors, and really try to break into that. It's hard to break into that lead when your name isn't recognized. Before 2 months ago, nobody knew who he was. So he's still developing that. But he answered it head on. Like, you cannot win this race without black people. And I think that that was another shocker of the night.
Hey, Todd, maybe we should consult him.
Yes, because Mays thinks, exactly as he was stating, Mays thinks that we need to keep a closer eye on the religious right and that they will try to start a revolution one day.
I'm going to...
They are!
See...
The whole abortion fight is being led by liberals.
Oh, that's a good point.
Okay, so you know what, and I want to talk about that too, but I want to get through these presidentials because, guys, I do want to talk about this abortion rights fight. I know I tell y'all about Handmaid's Tale, and I've been seeing all these women popping up in the handmaid's dresses, but I also noticed that somebody yesterday said that they believe that states should have the rights to determine abortion in their rules on abortion. And I thought when I heard states' rights, then I heard states' rights, which was the debate in which slavery revolved around. And you look at the states where this is happening, for the most part, and a lot of these are the old slave states.
Yep.
Are we looking at a new version of the Civil War? But it's based around this. I know I'm gonna get to that. So I want to touch back on that. But De Blasio gets in the race, and I want to talk about China trade war. So Amisha, talk to me about Bill de Blasio getting in the race. I watch Vice. Nobody from New York even likes him.
So Bill de Blasio, mayor of New York, has decided that he was going to jump into the presidential race. Mind you, he had been fiddling with this for months, going around to all of the primary states trying to stake a claim. But he just announced at the end of last week that he was going to go ahead and throw his hat in. He had a 75% disapproval rating. No one in any of the boroughs in New York actually wanted to see him do it. And of the Democratic Party, you have close to 80% of people who said no. So the only person who really wants to see de Blasio in the White House is de Blasio. And he doesn't really have the fundraising capability. He has been out front. He did a Facebook Live the other day following his announcement and made your daily WVON specials get more followers than he had for his Facebook Live. It was literally 12 people. No one cared.
Well, first of all, hold on. I don't like how you said that because I feel like I'm kind of special around here. She said Mace. So you know what? I do have 146 live viewers right now, though. I'm competing with Fox in a lot of cases on this. But Amisha, real quick, tell me about the China trade war. How will this end well? Yes or no?
Absolutely not. President Trump is showcasing that he does not know the art of the deal at all. The increase in tariffs, people may not understand, but the increase in tariffs actually means that you end up paying more as the consumer because the buck gets passed off not to the producers, but to the actual folks who are buying products. So Walmart costs are going up, your local grocery costs are going up, your electronic costs for whatever you buy, Samsung, whatever it is you get electronically is going to go up, cars as well. And I think that people have to understand that as much as he raises tariffs, China doesn't really care because China holds all the cards. Raising tariffs doesn't hit China. It hits the United States and it hits those who are buying the product.
All right, look, we got to go to traffic and weather. When we come back, though, this religious right, the abortion fight, and states' rights, what does it mean and what does it signal forthcoming? It's Talk Chicago. We'll be talking about it when we come back.
More of the morning show with...
Yeah, so states' rights. So yesterday I started recording. Rahm Emanuel said that that we are emerging as nation states. Said that cities are emerging as nation states, as the federal cities are emerging as nation states. As
Well, that would be city states, but whatever.
city states, but he said nation states. he said that they were like, we're becoming nations. Basically, it was some Game of Thrones action, and saying that essentially you will be responsible for self-governance within the realm of where you live as the federal government breaks down, and you'll be traveling to these different places. It's almost like going to different countries. That was crazy. I'm just telling y'all, the way this abortion fight is breaking down,
That
though,
would be the end of the republic.
I think the way that this abortion fight, though, is breaking down is a veiled way of going backwards and having a reverse version of the Civil War. And I think that, imagine what happens so now that they moved to states' rights and they got the legislature to do it, what happens when they do say, okay, no black people can eat here? We're going back to Jim Crow. You gotta show us how to vote. You gotta show us. I'm just telling y'all.
This fight is this is what history is all about. This fight is nothing new. This is what everything is. Everything is circular. Eventually, everything comes back around. At the beginning of the republic, this was the fight. Federalism. Will the federal government have the overall say, or will states have greater say? And we kind of figured out that states would have their own sovereignty. But then slavery comes back around as the big issue, as Mays was saying. And the slave states say, well, it's our right as states to make our own policy on slavery. And we all decided we want to have slavery. And we want to make sure that in the republic we are safe. So we want to extend slavery out west into the western territories as though they become states. And now we seem to have come back around to that question once again as the southern states, and it's always the southern states, say, well, we need states' rights again. We need the right to be able to do what we want. We need the right to say that, as we see right now, that abortion means taking someone's life. So we want to be able to dictate that, no, you can't do it. So all this that we see now is them trying to erode Roe versus Wade as much as possible.
No,
they may not be able to completely overturn it, but they can make it so much that it's practically non-existent. And that's why they are passing laws that they know won't pass the constitutional muster. But it brings it back to the table where they can get something that they want. But states' rights, if we become a nation where the states don't have to listen to the federal government, we'll definitely be in trouble. And they're always talking about, in Springfield, someone always comes and says, the city of Chicago should be its own state. They're not like the rest of us. This is where all the money is.
That's what I could view.
Hey girl,
you from my mind. I
feel alive. You blow my mind. Satisfied.
Outstanding.
So outstanding.
Girl, you knock me out.
Boom, 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 boom.
Exciting. Exciting.
Make
Me wanna shout. So lucky. Don't really love the way you love me, girl. You blow my mind, baby. I'm so alive, baby. You blow my mind, baby. You blow my mind. You are tuned in to the Top of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. And we are talking with our D.C. correspondent, Miss Amisha Cross. Amisha, there seems to be, I'm not even going to say a battle brewing, because the battle is on fire. They are launching missiles, scuds, you name it, over abortion rights. And I thought that this thing was settled, but now you see that there are states, was it Ohio?
Yes.
Alabama and Missouri are passing some of the strictest laws on the books, from the heartbeat law to almost basically outlawing abortion. Talk to me about this debate, this fight, and what is really happening.
Like to act like this is a new way. It's actually not. A lot of this has gone on under Democrats basically being asleep at the wheel. And I say that because over the past decade, 400 bills, 400 across this country, have passed around limiting abortion rights. 400. President Trump has been in office not 10 years. So we have to really understand that the states have really taken this on for quite some time. And that has largely been ignored by the media. And they've become more and more restrictive as the years go on. It is a coordinated effort. With that being said, there also has to be an understanding that in the majority of these cases, a lot of the abortion access and rights have been denied basically by shutting down clinics and hospitals that actually perform it, or requiring doctors to pay so much that they will no longer be able to do it. When you have, like what we've seen in Alabama, which will more than likely reach the Supreme Court, by the way, where you are basically getting a punishment for up to 100 years for someone who performs an abortion, for a doctor who performs an abortion, and you make no exceptions for rape or incest. And they had the opportunity. Democrats in Alabama actually put in an amendment for that, and it got denied. That means you just don't care.
So, Amisha, I know that all these bills have passed, but I am concerned that right now, as it becomes elevated, it seems that this thing is breaking along the lines of the Mason-Dixon line, with the exception of Ohio. It seems to me that something else is going on. And I know that I am the biggest conspiracy theorist, but I really do feel as though this abortion rights, or this pro-life movement, this fight that we are seeing, is a bigger fight as it relates to states' rights. And I'm starting to see states' rights come into this argument. Now, my concern about states' rights is that is where the whole slavery issue really that's really where the Civil War came from. And I feel like if there is a precedent created that allows the states' rights to resume in a way that they can pass these laws, are we looking at a return to Jim Crow, to segregationism, etc.?
Historically speaking, you're 100% correct. And anytime conservatives push for states' rights, there has to be an understanding of the historical context. Yes, states' rights was an argument that the federal government cannot stick their nose in and tell us that we cannot have slaves. So the states decided to do what they wanted, and that's what led to the process of them wanting to secede in the beginning. But fast forward beyond that, we also had, when school desegregation happened, the southern states were again trying to lean on states' rights to keep black kids out of their schools. We have seen this occur over and over again, and in the majority of those cases, black people were the people who really felt the oppression of it. States' rights is another reason why we have the criminal justice system we do, because states were able to create the lengths of time that they expected you to serve for small amounts of weed. They vary greatly depending on what state you're in.
Well, I am going to tell you all, we have got to watch this whole thing. I believe, honestly, that this pro-life fight, a lot of the people that I'm seeing in the pro-life fight look like the guys I saw marching in what's that, Charlottesville? What was that, Charlottesville? And it seems to me that there is a merge, a joining of the Christian white Aryan kind of mentality with this pro-life fight that's become militarized. Because I mean, they are like violent. They actually have terrorists, etc. But I also think
they've always been violent. This is nothing new.
But
yeah, they've always been violent. They're also arguing that this is helping black people. And I think that's the part that is the sticking point for me the most. Because if you really want to help black people, Governor Bevin of Kentucky, for example, you would be looking at economic reform. You would be looking at ways that you can actually get more black people in the workforce. You would be looking at sentencing reduction. You would be looking at criminal justice reform. This has nothing to do with you putting black people back on track. Like, let's not sell that to a population because it's absolutely false.
Well, I think you gotta.
Religious fervor.
Well, I think you gotta look at. You gotta sell what you can sell. You know, I used to be a lobbyist, right? So you gotta figure out when I go through and I'm trying to figure out how do I get this passed. I gotta get to this group, and I do think that there is a group of people, a group of black people who, when you talk about Margaret Sanger and you talk about, is it Sanger? Sanger or Sangster? It's Sanger. And you talk about this whole population thing, they do believe that abortion is a tool to depopulate us. But Salim says that this whole pro-life thing has to do with white folks starting to get real nervous about losing their numbers. And so they like...
Absolutely correct. This is the time in history in America where we've had the lowest number of births. And the greatest population that this country has seen, white people over the past how many decades, is going down considerably, in large part because women are deciding to have children later. The answer to that isn't abortion or ending abortion. The answer to that is providing a mechanism where women can work and raise their children, doing paid leave, making sure that child care is affordable. Because at the end of the day, a smart woman is not going to put herself in a bad economic situation just to have kids. She's going to wait later. And by waiting later, she automatically diminishes the amount of kids she's going to have.
You heard it. That is, it's simple math in some cases. Hey, y'all, that is our own Amisha Cross. You catch her every Monday here with us on the Washington, D.C. update. But, Amisha, tell everybody else how they can find you, all the other things you're doing.
Absolutely. You can find me nightly on Crosspoint. Super excited about that. Doing the Roland Martin Show and America This Week.
All right, y'all. That is our very own Amisha Cross with the DC update. When we come back, y'all, COINTEL at action right here in Chicago. COINTELPRO in action right here in Chicago. We're going to talk about the anatomy of a COINTELPRO operation when we come back.
Live from the WVON newsroom, here's our news now.
Take a moment, share the broadcast. Ty, what you growing, a box, man?
What's that?
You growing out a box?
No, I just missed my haircut. I should have got it this weekend, actually.
Man, you better get you some Dax, man.
Oh, make it lay down?
Get you some Dax.
Get some waves?
Get you a Dax and a brush. I got a wave brush for you.
Yes, I got a wave cap in my bag.
I'll be back.
Okay.
I'll be back. How long I got?
You blow my mind with Devolution. Devolution is granting states more authority to make their own rules instead of the federal government. Now, the federal government can always take back that power, but that's what the states, the southern states, have been fighting for literally decades. They've always wanted to have that ability to make more rules, and that was never good for us. Sovereignty through the states generally meant that things stay the same. We will make sure that we make all the money. When I say we, I mean the white majority. You will be subservient to all the rest of us. I mean, that's what people don't want. They don't like change, because change basically means that now everybody gets to compete for the dollars. And, we've seen some success, not enough success, not for our numbers and for the things we do, but we've seen some success as we've gotten into the business world. And we can't honestly think that our segregated universe is going to be able to generate enough money for us. We need to support each other. But with that, then our businesses need to go out and get some of that money from those other groups and bring it back to our pie. And that's what, Ron, I meant when I talked about using other groups. There's not enough money within us to support everything we do. Just like they take our money and take it out to their group, we need to take their money and bring it in to our group.
Todd, you gotta start plugging your phone up at night before you go to bed.
I do. You know, these phones, they don't last long.
Maybe you need a new battery. You need to turn off
But
some
you know,
of your
my
apps.
phone is my alarm. So my phone vibrates when it's time to get up. So I don't have it plugged in because I don't want it to wake up my wife. I want it to be right there. I can immediately turn it off.
Mine goes
She is unlike me. Like, it takes me like 15 minutes to fall asleep. She falls asleep within like 3 minutes, but she also will wake up like this. So if I move, she's like, what'd you say? I didn't say nothing. So it's we're different. We're different. We're very different with that. Yeah.
Y'all ready? This is the segment everybody's been waiting on. Yeah! Sorry.
What part is this? What are we gonna talk about?
We're gonna talk about the 10th district.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna play it back. We're gonna have some fun. So you know what? I was upset, y'all, because I hate to lose. And not only do I hate to lose, I hate to lose. And so I like to win everything. And I feel like when I don't put on best performance, then it's really hurtful to me.
'77 Sunset Strip. 77 Sunset.
Take a moment, share the broadcast. It's hard for me to say I'm sorry. I really think dude just wants to be me. And I think what it is it's like he sees everything that he could have been and can't be. And so this is a special tonight, Patrick. But this is the preview. This is the preview. I can't have audio tonight. But really this is the anatomy of a COINTELPRO operation. This isn't the history. I'm gonna give you history tonight. We're just gonna talk about. Yeah, the problem is though, as I said already, is that what happens is he shows up in your stuff. He shows up and people don't know, and then when he blows up what you got going on, and we start over again. That's what happened at Black Friday. Behind. That's why I love something now. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, in the building. Todd, you know what, man? So, y'all know, you know, I've been going back and forth over this whole thing this weekend. It's been a crazy weekend. But you know, as the WVON family knows, last Friday, I left here, went out, put on my suit. Maybe you didn't know, but everybody I was talking about the opportunity to present my credentials to run for the 10th District State Representative spot. Todd, I'm going to be honest with you. I never really thought I had a chance to win the Democratic, to be slated as the state representative. Because I have been very critical of the Democratic Party, and so here I am coming in front of the same people that I've probably talked a little smack about. Really in good heart and good justice, I want to push our community forward. But I did feel as though I wanted the opportunity to present my credentials for something that I thought I could have some impact on.
Right.
You think that, was I crazy for wanting to just have the opportunity to present my credentials and maybe look at another opportunity to represent our community in a different
No, not at all.
component?
If your desire is to be an elected official one day, there comes a point where you got to go out and say it. People won't be behind you if they don't know that you want to do something.
And so part of that was, basically, in case you didn't know, Melissa Conyers-Irvin, she actually won the city treasurer, and she'll be inaugurated today. Congratulations to everybody who's being inaugurated today. But in that, the process to select the new state representative, goes through the Democratic committeemen and their weighted vote. Now, Todd, let me just be clear that I have been a part of many of these, and honestly, I can honestly say that most of the times I've been involved, the outcomes have been predetermined.
I've been involved in many of these too, and I can honestly say all the times the outcome was predetermined.
The outcome was predetermined.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that I always felt good about, and even when I went to that, was the fair opportunity. One of the things that we talk about when we were putting these things together is the perception. The perception that there is a fair process. Because obviously you could just, the committeeman could just say, we're taking this person, and that's it. But the premise is that it is a democracy. And so you would expect that people would have the opportunity to fairly present their credentials.
And they may, in doing so, they may catch the attention of some people, and when something comes up down the way, they may be like, man, we need to talk to this guy about this.
Right. And so, I'm gonna be honest with you. Everybody who's sitting on the panel, for the most part, I have had a working relationship with. Whether it was, in some cases I had mentors on the board. Some were my co-young Democrats. Some I've helped raise money for, etc. So I wasn't uncomfortable seeing those people, and I thought that the whole process was pretty amicable. I saw all the candidates. I knew all the candidates. We all kind of were like, hey, what's up? First of all, congratulations to Jahariel Omar Williams, who won the spot, who actually happens to be a friend of mine, right? Mm-hmm. We came up in the same organization, and quite frankly, there were quite a few people from that same organization who were showcasing their skills, and I think it's just, again, an opportunity for people to see what you got.
Yes.
Well, Todd, the key to the process is that it appears to be fair. So when I went in to present my credentials, here's how it went.
But he also Republican. What are you talking about? It's Tom Seraphim's guy right here. What are you talking about? Any other questions, Michael Scott? This guy's a Republican.
All of them Republicans and Democrats.
We gonna go against him. We don't want him to be our state representative.
Could talk to me about
I live in it.
is the greatest challenges that exist in the district and how you attempt to combat it.
We don't want him to be state representative of our community.
This is in a meeting. Keep going. This is all in a meeting. Was that it? Yeah, I'm gonna talk over it. So I'm trying to speak. He's walking in front of the committeeman as I'm talking.
I've got to stick up my butt. I believe in decorum, and if you are in the way, you got to go.
We're not going to support him in the community. You pick him, we're going to go against him. Waste his time. We don't want him. He's jackass. We don't want him. What's in it for him? Excuse me, Mr. President. We know what you all, what you got named, and he helped y'all get all the jobs and all that. You got named?
know something you talked about on your show.
What's that? And he was the...
You can stop. So if you heard in the background, that was me trying to answer the questions as that tirade was going on. Now, let me just suggest that if I was the chairman of the Democratic Party, I would be concerned. Because it seemed as though the democratic process was hijacked, right? So we're in a meeting, there was no decorum, there was no sergeant at arms. Go ahead, Sonya, Sonya's over here having a fit. Go ahead, play the next piece.
Wait, go ahead. What do you think is that he was on the same dish before? Benefits. We don't know.
What's the guy's name over there? Is that the guy from the road up group? Help y'all get ahead. Help y'all fuck old black people there. Help y'all mess old black people there.
Negro.
Only y'all paid him, he was rolling with, what's the guy's name? Mr. Roosevelt group.
You know him? You know the real name?
He's not going to get the support. We don't want him. We don't want him in our community.
Now,
going back to Bolingbrook. What you say from Bolingbrook?
now I want to point that out because, y'all, I sat there for attempted to do a 10-minute interview just for the opportunity to present my credentials. Now, what I felt was that this was the easy way out. But I also felt like, you know, I've been going back and forth and people have been saying, Maze, you should just be bigger than that. And you should be, but here's the problem. When you play that, and I'm not going to say no names, everybody knows who it is.
Oh, yeah.
Who's done it. He's done it to everybody. And it seems as though every time there is momentum being built up, this person keeps coming back to destroy it. Now, I want to go back because I want y'all to understand when I say COINTELPRO what I mean. Give me the definition of COINTELPRO. Give me what an operative of COINTELPRO did.
As a community worker, I attended many Black Panther Party functions. I was part of the breakfast program. We registered many people, the African American community and others, to vote. Well, the FBI during COINTELPRO would try to turn members of the Black Panther Party against each other. Agent provocateurs were placed within the party to try to sow dissent.
So,
you know, did you see the Black Klansman?
No, I saw it. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's what the police wanted him to do.
So essentially, when my point here is, y'all, is that when we have these people amongst us, and I feel like, Todd, this has gone on for a very, very, very long time. I am not above reproach. Let me just be clear. But I think that it is time in our community that's what I got to this whole sellout question and this whole concept of, like, really, how do we move forward? I have been an open book, honestly, about all of my relationships. Mm-hmm. And what you see here is, again, the democratic process being hijacked. So I got a couple things. This weekend, I was upset. I was upset on a variety of different levels. I was upset because I was like, Dad, how could y'all, I'm like, man, how do y'all have a meeting like this?
Right. You can't have a meeting while there's like my dad would say, you can't have a meeting while another meeting's going on, and he was obviously having his own meeting.
So that's the first part. The second part becomes, why didn't anybody say anything, right? And so then you say, well, dang, why didn't nobody say nothing? Did the cat have a tongue? What? But it's okay, because what I recognize is the goal of COINTELPRO is to sow seeds of distrust and make everybody be mad at each other, etc. And so I just decided that today, y'all, we gotta start being realistic in our community. We have seen the actions. Remember this remember Malcolm X when he said, "Get your hand out of my pocket."
Right.
And then Malcolm X showed up a couple days and he was no longer good.
Mm-hmm.
What we have is agent provocateurs operating in our community. We've seen them. We know them. Everybody, I bet you everybody that's watching and listening knows who it is. I don't have to say a name. I'm going to say it tonight at 7 o'clock, though. So you make sure you catch the Facebook Live, because I'm going to break down the history. But this is really about how do we stop allowing ourselves to be distracted and pulled off of our course. Todd, I almost got pulled off of my course. I almost got into a fight after that.
Well,
literally.
That's what he wanted.
And it was that moment when I realized that he would have won had I gotten into a fight. Right? And I let me be clear. And so
disruption is what he's out for.
Ultimately. Yeah. Win, lose, get whooped, whatever. And so now my question becomes, in our community, and it's not about me, it's about how do we move forward? If even the most vociferous people who have paid a price can be subjected to the attack of COINTELPRO, when do we say, how many people do we have to lose to these actions before we start saying, you can't operate in this community like this? You can't do it to black folks no more. It's the Talk of Chicago 1690. We'll be back and we're going to play some more clips.
More of the morning show with...
No, you know, when I ran for county board president, they followed me around with a camera and you know, things that make you go, oh, you this, oh, you know, that handkerchief head type stuff, and just trying to throw me off of my game.
Same dude though, right?
Same dude.
20 years later, we are still doing the same things with the same dudes. Do you know that there have been millions of dollars in contracts? There have been millions of dollars in contracts. Millions of dollars of contracts that this dude has jacked up. Can I tell you something? When I first got the IDOT contract, IDOT came to me and said, there's this group out there. Vote. Voice of the ex-offender. We know they're going to have a problem with this project. If you can work with them, we can work with you all to provide hundreds of jobs. You know what he preferred? He preferred to take the $50,000 payoff to keep blowing up the situation. The reason that he got upset right now is because, remember, you notice, did you hear him keep saying Tom Seraphin?
Yeah.
So you know why he said Tom Seraphin so much?
I was surprised.
Because remember last week when I was talking about Tom Seraphin saying, Mays, you really are for the black people. Remember? Yeah. And he was like, because I go to all these meetings, and it's like all of these people show up to the meetings, and they're not really, they say they're for black people, but they're really not. They're really for themselves. But right. You're really about that. Well, guess who was the motherfuckers who was going to the table playing? So now what's happening is, for the COINTELPRO agents, they've been getting money from the Republicans, as well as money from, and other people keep them around just when they want to mess up shit. So like they pay them for like to put the gay flyers out, right, for the Tony Preckwinkle thing.
Right.
Well, what happened was when I make that statement, dude thought that I was speaking on him. I am speaking on him, but I wasn't speaking on him directly. But the reason that he mentions the Tom Seraphin is because now what's happened is I have credible relationships with Democrats and Republicans, right? But my relationships are not paid relationships. They are, like, they try to pay me, and I'm like, man, you can't buy me, because remember, we always learned you don't want to be a mercenary. So I don't ever go to people like, let me leave with money, what you gonna pay me, etc. If we have something that we agree on, then I'm gonna bring something to the table, you bring something to the table. Well, they used to going and sticking up the Republicans and then saying we can't do nothing. That Tom Seraphin reference was essentially dude being like, he calling me out. I wasn't calling you out, but you played yourself. Because again, who knows who Tom Seraphin is?
Oh, that's inside baseball.
But it's inside baseball. It's inside baseball because you was taking the bag. Because when they looking for black people to go against Democrats, and I'm not saying Tom was, but he works on both sides of the aisle. So essentially, what you saw was, but what it also sent those people over and operated their process. If anybody would have recorded that, they would have said, Cook County is a kangaroo court. Like, you would have just been like, really? Like, what was that? Like, I mean, imagine this dude is walking in front of the committeeman. I'm sitting here. He's walking up and down doing this. Yep. And nobody says stop.
Yeah,
Then the security comes to me afterwards like, oh man, you bigger than, because literally, Todd, I was really ready to fight. Like, physically fight. But then I changed my mind because I was like, you know what? Like, fight. Well, I'm so upset with me. Boy, I wanna know. It's gonna just, because everybody knows. You're delusional, in your mind. Why are you so obsessed with me? You are tuned into the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm going to tell y'all what. Everybody hitting me up, people saying, Maze, let me tell you what, Todd. That video, there was a video of that exchange. And my friend said, Maze, you need to not say nothing. They said, you need to let it go. I said, you know.
Mean of him walking up and down and
Yeah. Because see, what they thought was, aha, we going to expose this sellout. And that's why I asked, what's a sellout, bro? Like, so basically, what COINTELPRO, and Todd, I debated whether to talk about this, but I feel as though I was watching this self-defense video, and they were talking about people that take advantage of socially awkward situations to commit crime. Right? So the average person expects that people will conduct themselves with decorum. So if you are willing to jump over a desk like you did at Sterling Bay, trying to spook a white secretary, right? If you are willing to jump on a table in the middle of a board meeting, you can get some attention. As a matter of fact, I think he gets $30,000 for jumping on the table. I think you get $30,000 for jumping on the table. But then you ask yourself, when you follow these COINTELPRO leaders, what have been the outcomes? Todd, after Black Friday, let me tell you, Black Friday was a seminal moment in Chicago history amongst our community. And I will tell you that it brought together people who would never have been there. And I'm going to tell you that there was an operational unity, as Mark Allen likes to call it, that I had never seen before. And as the meetings continued to build afterwards, same person. Sowed seeds. Remember when he did this and did that? And I guess for me, the premise now becomes, how do we, in our own community, start to manage our situations? See, because what the brother does is he takes time out. He finds uninformed people. Now, see, what happens is, and he specializes in the ex-offender community, because a lot of the ex-offenders haven't been here for a long time. Right. So when they come home, they coming home thirsty. And so then you go find somebody who don't really know what's going on. You pump them up full of some stuff, and then the next thing, you done sent them on a blank mission. They on parole, they go back to jail, and guess what? He looking for the next one of y'all that came out. Todd, I'm tired. I have worked tirelessly in this community. I have paid a price. And I am not Michelle Obama. I'm tired of taking the high road, because I am going to tell you that at the root of Every single time. And you, did I have to tell you who it was?
No, you didn't.
No, you did not.
No,
Everybody knows.
Hear his voice.
Everybody knows. And for all of us, as we start to move together, who is always in the midst of dissension? I'm telling y'all, COINTELPRO operates amongst us right now. It's a new version. There is somebody working to stop the rolling black awakening that is happening. And you have to call it out. Y'all keep playing this, oh, let's play like we don't know. Let's play like we don't see it. And then when you ask what happened to your cut, you get that your cut went out the door for $30,000 because that's what he get paid for jumping on the table. Black ass lollipops. We'll be back after traffic, news, and the weather. Now, what happened is, and let's be clear, because I'll give you just a touch for tonight. What you got tonight is we're going to break down how Rod Blagojevich worked with the School of Inner City Studies to weaponize the ex-offender community to go against Madigan and his political opponents, and how it all went to the left and how we got these organizations now. Y'all don't want to know about it, but you're going to find out about it tonight at 7:30. Don't tell me.
That's pretty interesting. I gotta tune in. I mean, I knew Rod Blagojevich would totally wanted to decapitate Speaker Madigan, but I didn't know how he was trying to do it. It's interesting. I always thought that Blagojevich could have been so successful if he could have been able to take his success, and he had a lot of success, and take his personality, he had a lot of personality and energy, and use that to accomplish more things than to fight with the speaker over power. Well, as we know, in the end, it didn't serve him well at all. But you know, he had a space in the black community. I just think he dropped the ball on it. You know, some people don't like to hear it, but hey, it is what it is. I mean, I wish I'd had his kind of popularity. Jeez.
Who?
Rod Blagojevich. Had his popularity, I'd still be the county board president.
Right. Rod created these dudes in the basement of the Jacob Carruthers Center. And basically, like, man, we'll talk about it tonight, but we'll talk about how white developers use them to suppress black opportunities. You want to know why all of our key people that's supposed to be protesting were paid by the 78? Ask yourself, where's his company? Ask yourself, where's his company? Where's his company? Where are the people that he has gotten employed, put on, been a beneficiary of? Where are your outcomes? See, the thing is, it's like what happens is he done out louded y'all, and so y'all just whisper and just be like, oh, it's okay. It's like everybody be like, oh, just ignore him. And then
that's obviously what happened. They're like, man, he's here making noise again. We'll just ignore him and pretend he's not here. But like that's gonna stop him from disrupting the meeting.
Right, but then he didn't do it to nobody else. So now, if it's me and if I was a salty person, I would be like, dang. Now I'm gonna tell you, I think it gave everybody an easy way out.
What, you think so?
Yeah, I think that nobody really wanted me to stand up there and say, and make my presentation and be like, what's in it for the black people, and do all of that. And then they say, no, Maze, no, you're not it, right? It's like, I felt like they only did it to one person and nobody said a word, like nobody. And I feel like it was easier for people to allow him to do that than to just straight up just be like, no, we're not voting for you. I think it gave everybody an easy way out. They be like, we couldn't hear your presentation. I'm sorry that happened, blah, 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 blah. Again, because think about it. Every single person up there, for the most part, like, in some way, shape, or form, like, you can talk all that Madigan shit you want to. I have helped almost every black elected official in this city at some point.
I think if they talk to them, they'd say, I'm guessing from my experience that they would probably say, you know, Mays gave a good presentation. He's a good guy, but he's not the guy right now.
And I'm saying that and had I had the opportunity to get my words out and that been the thing, I wouldn't have had no problem with that.
No, you want to be heard, and they should have allowed you to be heard by getting them out of there.
And my thing is, so
And
imagine
I
sitting
hate
in
that,
a.
but sometimes you got to call the police.
And my thing is though, everybody I know is like this. Everybody in that table, he's harassed every single one of them.
Oh yeah,
right. And been like, and every single person be like, this motherfucker, right? Like nobody. And so, but again, I think that you got people that thrive on that. You know, like I was watching how General Petraeus was talking. General Petraeus. So there's an agricultural mindset, and then there's the mindset of a warrior, right? The agricultural mindset says, take that, when they go low, we go high. General Petraeus said, if Iran does this, we have no option but to do this. They have to understand that there is a consequence. And what we do, like, I'm saying for 20 years, y'all been not giving the motherfucker a consequence. It's like y'all continue to let them, I mean, how many, they follow, so then, they follow you around with a camera for X number of years, call you a handkerchief head, and then at the end, when everything goes, then they the parasites in your campaign outside trying to sell access for $24,999. Just give me $5,000 back. Right? So now you don't even know that's going on. Carla is just trying to help people to build relationships. This nigga is out here selling the opportunities, and y'all none the wiser. Yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened. And it's like, so as he's selling these 24, I was literally telling people, like, do not do that. Don't do it. Yes, you will get the contract, they will pass it through, but then when the feds start looking at it, you're going to be on the list. Guess what? When she got arrested, I can tell you people literally called me and said thank you. Thank you. Now, how did he have his name signed on all of it? He don't go to jail. How for everything that he's ever done, for every meeting, for every person he's done, he don't never go to jail. COINTELPRO. But y'all want to play like y'all don't know. Y'all want to be like, well, we'll work around it. You can't work around it because somebody always end up fucked up.
It is amazing how he is the enemy of everybody at some point.
And then, but then got 50 texts sweating me, please call me back. Because he fucking got 3 different personalities.
Split. Burn.
Come quick, love, come in a hurry. There's thieves in the temple tonight. They don't care where they kick, just as long as they hurt you. They're thieves in the temple tonight. Well, if you're there, come save me from a cold despair. I could hang when you're around, but I should have died when you're not there. Love, come quick. Love, come in a hurry. There are thieves in the temple tonight. Feel like I'm looking for my soul, like a poor man's looking for gold. There's thieves in the temple tonight. Purpose of the sky, from the sky, to pull you through. If I went into our own, cause the only thing is you. Ooh, 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 ooh. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago. 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Gotta say what's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom, as well as Miss Sonia Escobar. She's in the studio. Sonia Tompkins is down at the Wind Trust getting her ready. It is Inauguration Day. Y'all, COINTELPRO amongst us. You know, I'm tired of pretending like I don't see what I see. Look, I'm not agriculture. I'm not an agricultural black man. I'm not. And this political game is real. They got the best of me on Friday. But the question becomes, how do we address COINTELPRO? And if you don't know what COINTELPRO it is, those people they are, you know what, do you have to put the definition?
COINTELPRO was an FBI operation established in the 50s by J. Edgar Hoover to target African Americans who were fighting for justice and equality. He targeted Dr. King, he targeted Malcolm X, and over 80% of the targets of COINTELPRO were members of the Black Panther Party. One of the similarities that I see are that it's based on race. You know, COINTELPRO definitely targeted African Americans. Black identity extremists, which Attorney General Jeff Sessions has put out, targets African Americans.
Let me tell y'all, I have told y'all time and time again that COINTELPRO operates around us. We have a rolling black awakening that is happening in our community. You know, when the Panthers, every time it's happened, who did I tell you were the biggest opposition to what's in front of black people? Black people. Black people. But y'all, I feel as though we have got to really start to be honest with ourselves and say, why not? Why do we continue to allow the same thing to happen over and over and over again? Let me go to the phone lines because I'm a little hyped up again. I need to go cool off. Linda, you want to talk Chicago 1690?
Good morning, WVON Village people.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Listen, cool down, my brother. All you is in company of is good leadership, which they told you, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. You walking in their footsteps. You knowing how they felt when they was here doing what they had to do, okay? That's number one. Number two, another sinner man cannot tell another sinner man their destination. You know where you going. God know where you head. Don't you let another sinner man tell you what your destination is. It's never done that way. And keep that in mind and keep on pushing.
Thank you, my sister. I appreciate you. Let me go to Eugene. Eugene, you want to talk Chicago 1690?
Good morning, my mighty brothers.
Good morning.
Hey, I want to share this and pay attention, my mighty race out here. Like, I was one of the ones was used off that COINTELPRO, and I agree with you, it's very real. Just recently, you know, I was at an event, and, you know, these guys be coming to the neighborhood. I'm out here with these youth, and I'm dealing with them on a daily basis with the trauma. But they come to the neighborhood, and they come talk to us and tell us to come out to the meeting because they might have job wars and things like that. So they heard about our head. You know, I be dealing with a lot of youth, and some of these guys that we don't have to say no name that you speaking of, that you know and I know who they are. They came to me and told me to come out to an event, to a meeting. I brought some of my guys with me, and they sent us off. And they leave us without nothing. You know, today my brothers and them, my young brothers, still calling me, wondering what happened to the jobs and things that these guys promised us. But they are sellouts. They are misfits. And we know who they are, and they know who they are. But the time has come, because this is a good message that you're speaking on, that I'm hands-on dealing with these guys. I had their phone numbers with me, and they always call me with meetings and events going on. But they are sellouts, and paybacks is coming back to them. See the karma. So you have a good one, my brother.
Thank you, Gene. See, I'm telling y'all, they have And particularly they pimp the ex-offender community. Because the ex-offender community has gotten some knowledge a lot of times when they've gone away and read and realized that maybe the wrongs of their past. And then you know, it's like a new Christian. You feel them and you say, ooh, you tell them all this stuff, and then you wind them up and you say, go get him.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you the sent off one. I'm telling you all that this has become a hustle. And then here's the other part. The other part is what the COINTELPRO operatives do is they prevent the brothers who, because a lot of times the COINTELPRO operative uses the leverage of our old time street warriors and street organization leaders, and then come in and say, well, if you don't do what I say, I'm gonna use minister such and such or chief blah 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 or XYZ, and they gonna come rain down on you if you don't do what I tell you to do. And so you got this eclectic mix, and then what happens is they really pimping everybody in the process. And then when the brothers, because I know brothers on the west side right now that have gone from being in the streets to creating legitimate businesses. Like literally, you know how I talk about the transfer of illegal wealth to, like I have seen brothers that was on the block that now have companies that are negotiating with unions, that are making businesses, that are providing for their families, that are also now saying, get off the street, bro, come with me and I'll put you on as a whatever, right?
Right.
Fencing companies, building playgrounds, just all of it. Shout out to Alderman Burnett for that incubator. But here goes the lid. Then you got these guys that are COINTELPRO trying to pull them back into the streets, trying to force the gang culture or the street culture onto their business, creating, so now you got brothers with legitimate businesses bidding, and now they are trying to turn the legitimate bidding into gang warfare turf, trying to interject something as brothers have moved on and trying to do better for themselves. We gotta move forward, and it seems to me like everybody knows. Everybody that's in the mix. And it's like we continue to allow this. Let's go to Lewis. Lewis, you want to talk to Chicago, 1690. Lewis. All right, let's go to Anthony. Anthony, you want to talk to Chicago, 1690.
How are you?
I'm fine, Anthony.
Good morning, Todd. Listen, what was it when Larry Lex from Ohio came in and ran for mayor? That was not the black community's choice, no way. She was already picked by the same people, probably somebody that they could communicate with and whatnot have you, and she went fine. Why they didn't say nothing about her?
What they did was they actually went out and put out the gay flyers, because it's the same dude that, like, his whole tactics and his same strength is when everything is all to the end, then he comes in and people pay him to create mess, to go negative when there's nothing left. So you saw the outcome. You usually see it. It was back in the day when it was Tony Preckwinkle. He did the Aunt Jemima flyer that was in the newspaper, right? And then when it was John Stroger, he did the John Stroger sellout Uncle Tom flyer. And then when it was Todd, before he started selling the 24 $9.99s, he had a Todd Stroger one. And now he did, it's like, again, then when it was Lori Lightfoot and Tony Preckwinkle was running around, he found somebody and said, I got it. I'm a political strategist, so I'm gonna put some gay flyers on and it's gonna wake the community up. Y'all, everybody has gotten the text. Tell 10 of your friends, tell 10 of your friends, tell 10 of your friends. When y'all show up at these construction work sites and he goes in, recognize he leaves out and y'all still looking for the jobs. He don't do, like, when I look for my guy Bob Israel, Bob is working with people. He got people working, like jobs. He's got jobs. When you look at this dude, we find out that instead of using the money he's supposed to be using to do his projects, he buying motorcycles. I'm just saying, y'all, we got to do better. Eric, you want to talk? Oh, you know what? I got to go to traffic and weather. I'll be back.
More of the morning show.
Y'all, I'm going to give you history. tonight. Real history. Okay, we moving on. We'll take Eric's call, then we moving on. Take a moment, share the broadcast. Come on, I gotta get ready. Take a moment, share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. I'm nervous, man. You're making me nervous. How you looking? I don't want to be... Huh? What you say? Hello? Ty? I mean, Terrence, hello? What you say? Hello? All right, y'all, take a moment, share the broadcast. Ha! Come on in. Hey, y'all, there goes my stylist, Terrence.
That was,
Get me ready for the, Oh, look, there go Terrence. That's my stylist. What I'm gonna be looking fresh today for Fox. Look, there you go on TV right there. So you killing yourself, you know. Huh? You said TV at 10 pounds? Is that what you said? Hey, y'all, take a moment to shut the broadcast. So y'all, I hope y'all not mad at me for telling the truth today. I had to tell. Look, if I didn't have no catharsis, I was gonna be a curmudgeon for the rest of the month. I had to get it out. I needed this. Now I'm all good again. Except for tonight, I'm about to break it down. I'm finna tell about down in the basement, remember? And then how y'all used to be down there plotting and conspiring. And remember how Rod then had all the people educate the brothers. And so then you had the people that did good stuff. But then you had the road group that once they got... They said, could we get Terrence to make Todd some suits? Fox, I'm going to be on Fox from 9:30 to noon. Terrence is my stylist. Terrence, do you think I'm a sellout, Terrence?
no, I don't think you're a sellout.
Uh-oh, you sure?
Yeah, I think you just tell the things the way they are.
Ah, see? I'm trying to tell you.
A long time, so.
Man, a long time. See, I've been supporting black people forever. That's because there's so many. Stop hitting the buttons. Okay, close that door. You can stay in for a minute if you want to. He trying to be all y'all friend right now. Be his friend. Let his ass have it, though. See, he want to be our friend so he can try. Everything he's sharing is in my Facebook profile. I don't hide no pictures. You are tuned into Talk Chicago 1690 AM. Hey, y'all, it's Inauguration Day. I'm going to take 2 more calls, and then we're going to get off this and move on. But, hey, y'all, COINTELPRO operates amongst us. And I just think that we got to stop. We got people trying to get our people off of their business, and it's time that we handle ours. Let's go to Randy. Randy, you on Talk Chicago 1690.
Good morning.
Good, Randy. What's up?
Mark Carter, I'm giving you the William O'Neill Award and stuff. William O'Neill was the agent provocateur who helped set up Fred Hampton and others back in December 1969. So I'm giving you the William O'Neill Award. Mark Carter, who's on Facebook, riding around in motorcycles, stuff, paid for $4, people hooked up with all the Daily and Rahm Emanuel people and stuff, getting paid and stuff, talking black but sleeping white, talking all that trash and stuff, disrespecting black people and black women, going all over, disrupting stuff. I remember I had to grab Mark Carter back in 2003 at the Center for City Studies when he punched a brother by the name of Edmund Abdullah who said something he didn't like, and this guy was going around disrupting meetings, calling Reverend Jackson and others sellouts, him and a group of guys going around putting out flyers and pluggers, criticizing black leaders and attacking black people, etc. So, Mark Carter, you received the William O'Neill Award. Get the book Agents of Repression
by Ward Churchill and J.J. Vanderwall, and get the COINTELPRO papers by Ward Churchill and J.J. Vanderwall, and talk about people like Mark Carter.
Oh, dang, Randy. Thank you, Randy. Let me go to Eric. Eric, you on Talk Chicago 1690. He said it, not me. Your work speaks for itself. Go ahead, Eric. Good morning, brother.
My people. You know, black self-determination is really the weed in the garden of white supremacy. And so what you find is that white supremacy, whenever you see black people trying to step up, like Roundup, they got the spray stuff on it. Unfortunately, too often black people actually are themselves involved in the effort to keep other black people down. And it's about time that we start looking at survival of the group over our own individual accolades and things like that.
Thank you, my brother Eric. I appreciate it. You're on the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. Hey, y'all, I'm going to get off of COINTELPRO, but I do want to do this. I want to encourage you all to tune in tonight, 7 o'clock on Facebook Live. I am going to do a full-on explanation of the COINTEL operation and the history of how it exists today. I want to move on, though, because I want to say congratulations to a lot of people today. Today today could be a new beginning, guys. We are swearing in the inauguration of Mayor Lori Lightfoot. Todd, she has already begun by shaking things up. She has named a new I mean, did she shake it up or what? So she made Scott Wagaspack Finance Committee Chair. I talked to Scott Wagaspack at the 10th District meeting. He said it's going to be a lot of changes, and he said there'll be a little bit more of an open door policy. Pat Dowell replaces Carrie Austin as the Budget Committee Chair. That was a humdinger.
Yeah,
Ooh,
didn't see that one coming.
You then saw that Tom Tunney is now, what is he, zoning?
He is zoning.
Tom Tunney went to zoning. Now, see, white guys ain't gonna go to jail because he got money already. See, I think they heard me. I know Pat Dowell's like, dang it, you maze, gives a fuck. How about this, though? Anthony Beale. He was one of the first. She gave him nothing.
I thought that was nothing.
Like she took him from to zero, like nothing. Then Ray Lopez. I don't know if you saw him on Flannery Fired Up this weekend, Todd, but he
No,
is.
you weren't on, so I didn't watch.
Oh well, I'm gonna tell you, I was watching, and Ray Lopez he seems to be a little upset. I think that the opposition. First of all, let me ask a question. Do you think that Mayor Lightfoot now has full control of the city council? Do you think she is, with her votes and with what she's done, do you think that everything is settled and she'll be able to pass her initiatives? Or do you think there'll be resistance?
With this committee stuff, it shows that she is in control of the council because it all fell the way she wanted. And those who made noise about she has to come through us got punished.
Man, well, did you see? You know what? Well, we're going to talk about this when we come back because there is a new Todd City Council. The Black Caucus has 20 people. Let me say this. Here, who do we have new? So let me send a big congratulations out to the new people, first of all. Shout out to Mayor Lightfoot. Shout out to City Treasurer-elect, soon-to-be Treasurer Melissa Conyers-Irvin, 16th Ward Alderman Stephanie Coleman. She is coming back to the seat that her mother once held. That was pretty cool. Right. Shout out to 20th Ward Alderman Jeanette B. Taylor. 31st Ward, I'm going to say Felix Cardonia Jr., just because he's part of a bigger family. Shout out to 47th Ward Alderman Matt Martin. 49th Ward Maria Haddon. Big shout out to Alderman Burnett, Alderman Derek Curtis, and the rest of the Chicago Aldermanic Black Caucus on today being sworn in. But I gotta wonder, man, is this going to be a new day or will it be Groundhog Day? Shout out to Mayor Lightfoot, though, off bat saying no more water shutoffs. No more water shutoffs. I was thinking about that. Like, what do you do when they shut your water off?
You're in trouble. I can tell you what you do. you have to pay the bill, and then you have to pay someone to come and turn it back on.
Or if you know, like the people I know,
Then
they
you
just
pay somebody to turn it back on.
You just pay somebody to turn it back on. They got that long thing. You know when it's going down too. Cause I'm gonna tell you, when you see the guy in the hood, in the neighborhood, with the long pole with the T on it, you be like, oh yeah. You can tell when the water, cause dude be like, yeah, it's like the boot man too. It's like the water guy, the boot man, and then the guy who knows how to turn on your electricity with a paperclip. Right? Oh, hey man, I'm telling you, these people got all type. You know what? Black people are survivors.
Yes, we are.
Black people are survivors. Let me tell you, we will figure it out no matter how it goes down. Look, y'all, when we come back, I'm going to talk about what are Mayor Lightfoot's biggest challenges. Plus, did y'all know that May is barbecue month? May is barbecue month, and we are going to have somebody stop in and bring us a little barbecue. Also, did y'all remember last night was the end of Game of Thrones? What did everybody think? I was a little torn. I'm a little all over the place right now. Let's do this. Let's go to traffic and weather. When we come back, we'll talk about Mayor Lightfoot's biggest challenges. Plus, we'll have some barbecue. Plus, hey y'all, my stylist is here. Shout out to Terrence Johnson of Van Way getting me set, because you don't forget, from 9:30 to noon today, I will be on Fox 32 covering the election, the inauguration ceremonies. We'll be back after traffic and the weather.
1690 WVON.
Take a moment, share the broadcast. You see Randy like, it's that was too funny.
He was all on it. All on it.
I changed it up, man. Uh-oh.
It's like you said, Maze. It's like you said, a lot of people have been burned.
I'm going to take you out for a second.
All right.
Go ahead, Terrence. So, wait. Come on, we can go in the other room. Yep. That look a little wrinkly, man. What's that? Oh. All right. You making me go basic?
Nope.
Ah, ha. Very good, very, very good. Now I like that. I like that. All right, I like that. Huh?
I don't know if you can fit this or not. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna rain or not.
Aha! Yes. Flavors. Check out the style. See, what he do is he give me this stuff like the car dealer, and then you don't want to give it back. Then he be like, just send me, then you get an invoice. Aha! Yes, I will be the freshest of the fresh as I walk into Fox 32. With my black, check it out, Terrence Van Way. Now, Terrence, tell me about the combo, please, and thank you, sir.
Well, at first we were going to
Come
go...
over, you gotta look at the camera, man. You gotta look at the camera.
First we were going to go with a solid gray shirt and a striped tie.
Uh-huh. Now, am I able to wear dots and squares at the same time?
Of course.
Ah.
There are complementing patterns.
Aha! Y'all ready? All right. So now I gotta come back because I gotta get dressed in a hot second, and I gotta get to Fox 32. That is my guy, Terrence Van Way, my stylist. Oh, I still got the jacket. See, that's how I do you. Then be like, you got the jacket on. Hey, you want to sit in that bed? Huh? Oh no, I'm just. You can come back in if you want. Is he here? Or are they on the phone? Are they on the phone? Phone or here? Huh? Where my barbecue at?
He graduated from Mendel County. Dare to look at our news now on 1690 WVON.
Lavelle said he want to purchase. See, look at that.
David Cromer, the Tony
Yeah, that
Award
raincoat is off the chain. I'm just telling y'all, if anybody buys anything from Terrence, please make sure you say my name. Say my name, say my name. You get a 20% discount if you say Maze Jackson. When no one is around you. You mean to tell me they ain't bring me no barbecue? Y'all take a moment, share the broadcast. Okay, after the next break, I should have got dressed right now. Oh. Nah, I was gonna sweat it out in here. I was saying just get my pants and stuff so I could be close. All right, Todd, y'all got the camera. You got the camera, Todd.
Oh, all right. Don't you hate it when they ask you what your security questions are and you keep getting them wrong? Like, how can I get these questions wrong? This is as bad as having a password. I should have picked something easy. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. That 3 I know is right. The rest of this is hard. All right, I got it right.
Let me get them pants.
It's hard. We gotta figure out.
You don't gotta bring them. I'm gonna just swap.
Maze is doing a quick costume change so he can look the best for all you all. I'm trying to save myself some money.
How?
When I don't want to make this payment. I made a payment, and there's an automatic payment that I want to stop. Don't happen.
Huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah, when? Oh, excellent. My daughter's there now. She just started.
So first year?
Yep. She enjoys it, I think. I'm pretty sure she does. She has a lot of classmates there.
How's the culture there? I mean,
Rich white kids.
Yeah,
Poor black kids.
We don't know.
Rich white kids.
No. Hopefully there are some people who there's probably some middle class like us.
There's plenty of black middle class.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of
White middle class too.
There's some rich black kids there too.
Right.
Yeah.
The H's.
Yeah. Yeah. Most definitely them. But I mean, it seems to be a good environment. Everyone is very respectful. What I found at these schools where that, like he's saying, there's a lot of rich people. They're very.
All right, we back.
You can find your place.
We back. Who? Just eat it. Just eat it. Eat it. Just eat it. Eat it. Just eat it. Eat it. Ooh! Woo!
Roll.
You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. And y'all, you know what? Todd, our musical conductor is a genius. She is a musical genius. That's right, Miss Sonia Escobar. So you wonder, why are we playing Eat It instead of Beat It? Well, I'm here to tell you, well, Ben Gullett, he is a team member from Rayburn's Barbecue. He is here to tell us about May being Barbecue Month. Ben, welcome to the WVON Morning Show. How are you, man?
I mean, that was a heck of an intro.
Well, you know what, Ben? I'm going to tell you. When it comes to barbecue, that's all we want to do. We want to eat it. So now...
You are not wrong. I mean, there's a lot of tips about cooking and grilling and sauces and all the different pieces that come to it, but you're right. Just at the end of the day, I just want to eat.
Hey, so, Ben, talk to me. May is Barbecue Month. What exactly is Barbecue Month, and what do you do to celebrate it?
You know, Barbecue Month is a great way to kind of kick off the end of spring, but really going into the summer, right? It's time to, the weather's nice, you want to get out, it's time to barbecue. And with Memorial Day coming up just next Monday, Memorial Day is a big day for doing barbecue. So we're just kind of feeding right in, getting ready for the summer.
Now, Ben, tell me the difference between barbecuing and grilling. Because it seems to me people invite me to these barbecues like the Walshes, invite me to barbecue and they have hamburgers and hot dogs. And I'm thinking barbecue means I'm supposed to get smoke and meats and ribs and chicken. Talk to me about what is the difference between grilling and barbecuing.
Yeah, you know what, that is a great question, and I think it's one of those age-old questions that many wars have been started over. But really, the difference really between barbecuing and grilling is barbecuing is supposed to be the slow act of cooking those meats over direct heat. When you get invited to a barbecue, you should arrive, and the meat should be cooking, but you're there for all day, for the celebrations, for the hanging out with family and friends. Where grilling, right, it's just fast cooking over a direct flame. They should just call it a cookout, make it easy for you, because, yeah, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get the hot dogs, the hamburgers, and, you know, anything else that makes up a cookout, some potato salad, coleslaw maybe.
Now, Ben, I want to know, man, talk to me about this resurgence of barbecue. It seemed like barbecue has become the hottest food item everywhere. It seems like everybody's opening a barbecue. It seemed like you had to go far and wide to find good barbecue, and now everybody is doing this barbecue thing. What do you make for the resurgence or the popularity of it right now?
You know, I think part of it's just based on people's more involvement with food. People want to be a foodie, and barbecuing is a great way to kind of connect those dots on a very easy basis. You know, 75% of the population of American adults own some sort of grill or smoker. And so when that much populace owns cooking devices like this, it's real easy to go from, I can make a barbecue, I can show off my recipe, I can show off my sauces, and then to go, but I can also start a business out of this. And I think that's where people make those connections.
Now tell me they say you got some good time-saving tips for barbecuers. Talk to me about them.
Yeah, there's some really great tips. I mean, if you're going to plan on cooking a barbecue, maybe you got a barbecue coming up Memorial Day, there's some real easy things that you can do to make it so easy for you. One of those great ways is to put foil over your grill grates before you start cooking. I don't know how much grilling or barbecuing you do, but when I do it, I really hate having to clean up afterwards. So real simple thing is just put some aluminum foil down over the grates. You're able to put the food on top, and it's easy cleanup when you're done.
Yeah, but then I don't get those cool lines, man.
All right, then don't use the aluminum. You're going to be there cleaning for a while, and that's fine. I put my wife in charge of that, and I know that's not right. I know that's not correct, but boy, do I hate cleaning that grill.
Now, Ben, you are at Rayburn's Barbecue. Tell me about Rayburn's Barbecue and where can I find it?
You know, Rayburn's, we've been around for a number of years making, you know, easy, convenient sandwiches that you can stick in the microwave, that you can stick in there, heat up, 60, 90 seconds. You get out, the bread is bakery soft, it's fresh, it's delicious. But we also make these delicious barbecue pork sandwiches. So if you're like me and you want to skip all the cleaning, or, if you just want a good classic barbecue sandwich, this is a great way to go to the refrigerated section at, your local Mariano's or Walmart, pick up a barbecue pork sandwich, stick in the microwave for 90 seconds, and you are ready to go. All
right. That is Ben Gullett. He is a team member with Rayburn's Barbecue. Man, May is Barbecue Month. I think I'm going to have me some, but you know what? I'm gonna tell you something, Ben. I don't have my sandwiches. I was looking for some barbecue. We were planning on eating these things on air, but you got me all hungry. I think I'm gonna have to run out of here and go to the store before I go to the inauguration. Hey, it is Ben Gullett. He's a team member at Rayburn's Barbecue. Hey, my man, I appreciate you being with us and keep us in the loop for the next year.
I'll be there. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks for being there. All right, y'all, we are back to the talk show, the WVON morning show. You know, I saw him on Good Morning America, and so I was like, we could be famous too. I wanted some barbecue. Now let me also go to, hey, did y'all see the Sunset? So there's a new city council, man. But they got some confusion going on.
Well, there will be, at least.
Right, today it'll be one. Look, they got Alderman Burnett in the Tribune and Howard Brookins mixed up. Do you think they think them two black dudes look alike?
Man,
who's madder?
They do that all the time. I mean, it's serious. This shows you how black people are in the shadows. They would put pictures. I think they put a picture of Walter for me once.
What?
This happens all the time.
They did it on height. They did it for y'all based on height. I could see, but I could see Alderman Burnett and Alderman Hookins.
Walter's head.
Brookins, you know, with that gray, they got that shadowy gray with the glasses.
And they got glasses.
Right, and they, you know, they sharp dresses or whatever. Hey, y'all.
It just goes to show that they also don't know who the black players are.
Right, but they don't really have to worry. You know why? Because they ain't really worried about us.
Yes, that's
See,
right.
they don't really care about us. Look, y'all, we got to do better. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was a little, I wanted to go to the inauguration, so I'll be watching it again. Don't forget, today, Fox, 9:30 to noon. I'll be covering it in studio. That's why my man Terrence Van Wade Johnson is here from Van Wade, getting me all fresh to death. So y'all check out my outfit. But, Todd, do you think we're gonna have, will it be a new day in Chicago? Like, I
think so.
Do you think Lori Lightfoot is gonna have our back? When she did that water department thing, I was just saying, I know that ain't black people specific, but it sure is close to black specific. You know, they was like, you just can't turn people water off. Because, you know, black folks will be having their water off. You be like, go next door, give me a...
Well, I think that in probably the last at least 12, no, maybe more along that, 16, 20 years, let's go 20, that there has been a focus on punitive fees that, you know, they definitely hurt people who don't have tons of money more than they hurt people who have money. It's like when you get your car and it's towed and that fee just keeps going up, they got your car there.
Right.
You're never getting it back. So maybe she's looking in a different direction and will say, look, we're going to have to make sure that everybody throws something in the pot. And it's just not the people who we can catch doing something and then we just, you know, just rape them.
Did you see that? Did you see that she went to a meeting and told the told the black people, the rich black people, that they got to get in this game?
Yes, I was shocked, basically. But hey, I mean, she's doing what she needs to do. She's right. Their success, I mean, they come from our neighborhoods for the most part, and even if they don't, in some instance, they're a part of the group. And I think a lot of them, maybe they don't feel like they're powerful enough, but I always say if they are a part of the larger group, that makes them stronger too.
They would be powerful if they would stop. They got to stop segregating themselves, though, because they be doing the them and us's. And it's like, I think everybody's got to start recognizing that the power game has shifted, right? And that there is a new power dynamic going on. That even goes for COINTELPROs, right? See, it's like that old game of screaming, jumping on the tables, and you taking $30,000 while everybody else is left behind. That day got to go. That day has to be over. Yeah. I'm going to tell everybody out here, you heard the caller say, now you have a brother that's on the streets that's doing it. Our pain and suffering has been pimped. It is a learned lesson, and our new COINTELPRO agents are pimping your pain and your discovery. All you had to do was go to the African American Contractors Association event and watch all of your activists bend their knee, bow down, sitting down next to the main developer at Related Midwest on a knee as he sat around with all his Negroes, these Negroes that you call your leaders. They are on the take. Now, you ask yourself, why were they all testifying for these white guys to get multiple millions of dollars? And then you ask yourself, hey, COINTELPRO, how many black people got jobs? I want y'all to do the math. Remember when he used to show up with 20 people and 50 people, and now he show up with one cameraman trying to make it bigger? Because the cameraman is the last dude. He been gone, so he didn't even know what everybody else known for the last 20 years, that the dude you rocking with is a fraud. I'm gonna tell you, I am not agrarian. And I'm just telling y'all, don't ask me to be no agricultural political Negro, because y'all sat around and this is how we get here. You talk about the black elected officials, but then you won't say a word. He won't say a word to a white boy. Won't say a word to a white boy. Just focused on messing up black folks. Hey y'all, man, I ain't y'all. I'm not Michelle Obama. We'll be back after traffic and the weather.
May is Health Awareness Month. Fact, 3 10-minute sessions of exercise is just...
And you ask why I'm not mad at everybody? Because that's the goal of COINTELPRO.
Yeah.
Right? So, do you think I don't see everything that I saw? I saw it. But again, if the goal of COINTELPRO is to ruin the relationships that... The people that didn't do what they supposed to do know what they were supposed to do. I ain't got to say it. But... as for COINTELPRO, the goal is to make me not be cool with the people that I'm cool with. Right?
Right.
So now, I could take this movement and this action and really wind up being mad at everybody and have nobody. Now, am I wise? Yes, I am wise. Can I count? Yes, I can count. Can I see? Yes, I can. But COINTELPRO won't win. But I'm going to also tell y'all, stop asking me, when you know me, to be, agriculture. I'm not an agricultural Negro. I'm not. And I don't plan to ever be. And so for the next person, because it's going to be somebody else that it happens to. And then y'all will be like, man, he did it again. We've had this conversation 20 freaking times. 20 freaking times we've had this. We have had this conversation every time some momentum gets built in the black community. The first thing and then everybody want to issue a pass. No. Now, y'all keep on sitting around here wondering. I watched that Black Panther special and you be like, man, this dude is doing every tactic that they done did. We done seen it. Fred Hampton died from it, right? All of our leaders have died from these same processes and these same Negroes doing this same dumb shit, and we always act like we didn't see it when they was doing it. You want to play, they want to work on your... It's like when people kept telling Biggie, don't respond. Whoa.
That one's above my head. That one's above my head.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, they tell you, I told you, the trick of the enemy is to tell you to put your weapons down while they keep using. Look, they gon' people anticipate Christians not doing nothing. So they put it in their plan that I could do this without fear of repercussion. That's how people operate. If it's like when you in the streets and somebody takes some money from you, you can either let them keep, and then they're gonna keep taking money, which is how we got here. And kept on getting away with it. And then y'all gonna forget. I don't forget. Out of here. You said your phone? The tables will turn. Lesson to learn. I'm feeling good from my head to my shoes. Know where I'm going and I know what to do. Point of view. I got a new attitude. control my worries off you. I know what to do. Oh, 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 oh. I got a new attitude. You are tuned into Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, it's almost time for the inauguration. I see you got your suit and tie on. My man,
I'm ready. And you're almost ready.
I'm almost ready, man. I'm headed over to Fox 32. I will be covering the inauguration in studio on Fox 32. You're going to be headed over to the actual inauguration. I got my man Terrence Van Wade in the building. He is my stylist, bringing me all my good fly clothes, getting me straight. Yeah, man. Check me out on the news today. Todd?
Yes, sir.
I'm not an agricultural politician. I'm not agricultural in my political. I believe that our agrarian attitude has allowed us to be victims internally and externally. And right now, I'm telling you like this. We have to stop tolerating BS. Like, I feel like we got enough white folks tearing us apart. Sonya, you got my audio? Give me just a little few minutes of COINTELPRO acting out during my interview, because I'm going to tell you that the challenge becomes that if you continue to allow bad behavior, it will continue and it will fester. I'm going to tell you that if I was a member of the Cook County Democratic Party and somebody had visible evidence of that, I would be embarrassed. I think that what you see with that was that the party has lost. No one respects the party. Like, no one respects the party. There's nobody coming into a What's in it for the Black People meeting doing that.
Right.
They're not doing that. And it's the members of the part of us gonna say you gotta go. But I think that what it also demonstrates for us Black folks is we have an opportunity. Because if one loud Negro can come into and take over a whole process, what happens when we got 50? 50 wards, 30 townships, 50 people, 4 hours a day. Then what happens? Imagine when you put 50 people in the room. Sonya, give me just a little bit of audio from COINTELPRO one more time.
Not living in it is the greatest challenge that you think exists in the district, and how you attempt to get back.
We don't want him to be state representative in our community. It's a plan for Tom Sarah.
Stop. And I want to stop that right there, because I just want to break this down for you real quick, and then I'm going to break the rest of it down for you tonight. I want to encourage you all to tune in Facebook Live tonight. Yeah, I'm going. The reason that you see this ugly thing rearing its head, and the reason that you heard the mention of Tom Seraphin, for those of you that tune into the show regularly, remember when I told you about the white guys that were saying, Maze, this What's in it for the Black People thing that you talk about, you're like really about it. Because there's been so many of these guys that come to us and they act like they're for the community, but they take care of themselves. Well, what's happened, Todd, is with things like uncomfortable conversations, with me going to events, I've never been, you know how we used to call people mercenaries?
Yes.
So I've never been a political mercenary. And I was always taught in the game that you do what you do because you believe in it, and the money will come. So I don't walk into the Republicans and say, pay me to go screw the Democrats or go screw these Negroes. I say, if you got something that makes sense, I'm okay with that. Just like I'm okay with whatever. But what I'm going to tell you, my brother, is that what is happening is as we continue these dialogues and start to talk about Black self-interest first, the people that are in opposition to that will start to reveal themselves. I played the audio so you could understand that this thing we talk about, this thing that we are trying to do, this thing of advocating for ourselves, the biggest opponents of it are Black people. Black people, now, what is their source? Who's paying them? Who's fronting for it? Y'all have known COINTELPRO for 20 years. He's been, since you've been elected, since your father was elected.
Right.
Doing the same thing. What has been the positive outcome? Think about how many people have gone on from him. Think about the brothers that are trying to leave the negative lifestyle that he continues to pull them back. So if you live in a neighborhood where there were former members who are now doing business, and somebody, you know how they say, every time I try to get out the game, they pull me back in?
Right.
Well, what happens when your black activist is really an agent to create, hey man, this is the same person that, not chaos, because he's reinvigorating old gang rivalries, having people now who are trying to do business, now trying to put them back at war with each other over business.
That's chaos.
Yeah?
Fighting.
We have got to do better. Now, you know what? Before I go, can we say something? Can we play some in memory of Insayne Wayne, y'all? Hey, y'all. Insayne Wayne, you are in our thoughts and prayers. To everybody else who is tuned in, we appreciate you. Congratulations to everybody that is getting not inducted, but sworn in today. For Neff Lornoy in the newsroom, for Sonia Escobar, the music conductor of the Soul Plane, Todd Stroger, I am the host of the WVON Morning Show. And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. May said, this one's for you, Insayne Wayne.
1690 WVON remembers our brother.
All right, y'all. I'm out of here. Tonight.